Can. Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
On the start of souls, but give no praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Dash. Double honor to the apostle of Great Millstone, and honor to you brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Right, we Hebrew Israelites come out here week in, week out to the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom, right? And when you're seeing what's happening in the news, right, there's only one conclusion, right, that this world is done. And when we say news, we don't mean your MSNBCs, your CNN, your Fox News, right? No, those are the mainstream media, right? And just like how you have the red, the Democrats and Republicans, which are ultimately of the same, two horns of the same beast, pursuant to Revelation, the 13th chapter, right? You get everything where Esau will make it seem like something is organic, but it ain't. But when you're watching the real news, right, you can see you got flooding here, mass protests now in so many damn countries, can't even remember all of them. Yeah,
like Bangladesh, the flooding.
Yeah,
they're telling them they're drinking and bathing in the same dirty ass water, pissing and shitting in that water, and they have to drink it.
Yeah,
so they're gonna catch all kinds of infestation and nastiness, viral diseases, man, from that damn water, man. They're finished over there in Bangladesh, and then they have them with food riots.
Yeah,
they're fucking up the police and all that, man. They're just chasing them down the street, beating them with wooden sticks and throwing stones at them, rocks and all that. And then over there in China, they're doing the same shit. 16 million people, something like that, rioting, food and all that. All going through the same trays, going shuffling, looking like a bunch of rats scurrying for the same food. Shit is crazy, man. This is what you call a dystopian state, man. The end of a society. There's no way this place is prospering and it's going to be made great again, man. This place is finished, and all that's going to come to the shores of America. The Lord saving the best for last. That's why you got the shit going on right now with the Republicans and Democrats. You got Trump saying he's going to come back into office, basically pump faking and pushing out a narrative of civil unrest, civil war, because Biden's coming out saying, look, man, with the red background and all that bloodshot background coming out, saying, look, man, these Republican MAGAs are terrorists. They're against democracy, the American democracy. They're terrorists. So that's straight up war between both Egyptians, man. We can get that as well, can't? There's going to be a straight up civil war in America, man, like never before. And this time it's going to be more bloody, man. At the same time, it's going to be food riots. There's going to be racial tensions going on. The so-called blacks feed the whites, Hispanics, and all of that. Then you got Edomites fighting other Edomites. Biden and Trump followers. They're going to be going at it. KKKs and all this, the Proud Boys. They're going to be going at it. It's going to be straight up sedition like never before, man. This is why the Lord said, Daniel 12:1, there's going to be like a time that's never before been on the earth. I might as well get that while you get your.
It says Isaiah 19:2. It says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
Yeah, start from 1, because the reason why this is all happening, because our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai is getting ready to make his second return, man. The advent of the Lord, the second coming, man. So all this hell has to break loose. Fire has to be out here on the streets before the Lord returns, man. That's why the Lord said when he returns, shall he find faith, man? And it's going to be like a fire quenched, because it's like, a fire that's not quenched, shall I say. Because it's going to be all hell breaking loose. Cities are going to be on fire, all of that, man. Riots. People are going to be committing cannibalism. I just watched the movie Doomsday. That was made in the early 2000s on the same subject, man. Epidemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it, spread. Then there's martial law, people shooting each other, the troops shooting up the people in the middle of the street, blood splattering everywhere. There's total sedition, man, straight lawless society. Then cannibalism is involved, because there's no more food left, so people just turn on eating each other. This is all from the scriptures, though. All these Hollywood scripts and all that, they get these post-apocalyptic doomsday type movies. They get these scripts from the scriptures, man. Because the scriptures hold testament to the test of time, man. They're the truth. Not the Quran, not no Keban Negas, not no other book. The scriptures, man. No other shall want her mate. You're saying so many things, but can't.
No, because I was about to pull that precept, but you quoted it anyway.
We're in some devastating times, man. This is not a joke, man. And we're trying to warn Jake. We've been warning Jake for years. You got these fucking small hats coming out more and more saying, look, man, we want to CHIP you, man. We don't care what you think. We want to CHIP you and your damn children, man. You want to control your asses, man. You want to buy and sell. Take this digital currencies, man. Deal with that. Go ahead, though.
Yep. So Isaiah 19:1 says, the burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud.
The clouds represent the what? The chariots, man. The chariots of Israel. The Lord's going to be in the biggest cloud of them all. The fathership. And every eye shall see him, man. And every knee shall bow. Go ahead.
It says, and shall come into Egypt.
Egypt is America today. Modern day Egypt is America. And yes, we was in slavery and bondage in captivity for 400 years in ancient Egypt. You got the talk now that, you know, we wasn't in captivity for 400 years. It was 200 and something. Come on, man. Stop adding and taking away from the scriptures, man. Just stick to the script.
Scriptures, you know, talk about, you know, basically how you have people just taken by every wind of doctrine, man.
Yeah. And you want tangible evidence, man. The Lord said a wicked and an adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, man, and shall not find it, man. You know, you want tangible evidence that, yeah, we was in slavery for 400 years. If it doesn't add up to 400, then it wasn't 400. Because you ain't spiritual, man. You're missing the spiritual aspect of it as well. The Lord likes to deal with mysteries, man. He's a mysterious power, man. He's not just going to lay it out for you straight up. Certain things happen in history, but the Lord leaves it as a mystery, so you can't, you know, like the Ark of the Covenant. No one knows where that is. To this day, no one knows where that is. If you left certain Israelite camps, they're trying to say, yeah, it's located here. You've seen it. It's located here. You got a piece of it here. You know? Just being carnal, man. Forgetting the spiritual aspect of this truth, man. The Lord's mysterious, man. And we're going to find out all these mysteries in its entirety in the kingdom, man. We don't need to know everything right now. But we know enough. And we believe, because this is really about faith. Believing in the unseen, man. It's not about believing in everything that you see. Tangible goods, man. We can't see the Lord. We can't see the fourth dimension. We can't see the angels. Does it mean that they don't exist? Because you didn't get a calculator and straight chronological evidence of us being in slavery for 400 years. Does that mean we weren't there for 400 years? Or 430? You know? Come on, man. Be spiritual. Stop being on this carnal shit, man.
First one's Hebrews 11:6 is, but without faith it is impossible to please him. But he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him.
Yeah, we're seeking the Lord through faith, man. Because the Lord can open up our eyes and make us see everything. But that's not, you know, that's not exciting, man. That's dead, man. The Lord likes to deal with suspense.
And that's not a part of his test this time around.
Yeah.
Scripture says, when he cometh, shall he so find faith on earth.
That's it.
Right? So yeah, you know, the Lord wants a faithful servant, and as such, the Lord has left certain things wherein we need to have faith.
Exactly, man.
You know, otherwise, if
how's your faith going to be tested?
Yeah.
How's your faith going to be tested if you just got everything on a plate for you, man? How's your faith going to be tested? How do you really truly believe? Because the Lord did miracles in front of Jake in his time, and Jake still was going off. Jake still crucified the Lord. Before that, we was in ancient Egypt. The Lord did all kinds of plagues through Moses, 10 different plagues, and split the Red Sea, all of that. Jake was still wanting to go back to Egypt, man. So the Lord did miracles in front of us before. That didn't work. But Jake still went off. Jake still wanted to worship false idols, man. Two golden calves and all that. Down in Bethel, Jake still wanted to go back to Egypt and be a slave, man. So it doesn't matter about the tangible, man. It's about being spiritual, man, and believing in these stories, man. Because these are the stories of our forefathers. And the things that are written aforetime are for our learning.
If I can say from what you were saying, one thing I was just thinking right now was these people are just unbelievers. That's all they are. Infidels, right? But yet they're using the lack of evidence to prove their unbelief. Because as the ball was going into, even if we were able to be like, okay, cool, Esau's got this record here. It says, on this day, we went into captivity, and on that day we left. All of a sudden, guess what? They'll find another reason to not believe. Because ultimately, their whole thing is they don't believe.
Spirit of doubt. Yeah, that's what you're under, the spirit of doubt. You want to find a reason to scapegoat, man, and doubt this truth. Because you know it's the truth. And instead of you to subject yourself and just stick to the one doctrine and obey your masters that taught you this truth, you want to diss them. And then you want this, you know, say that they're going off, they're old and decrepit, and they don't know the scriptures anymore. They butchered the breakdowns, and now you're the, you know, the new folk. You're the novice that's got all the breakdowns, and you know everything. Come on, man, this is bullshit, man. You're being disobedient to parents, man. You're being a nigger, man. But you want to call man's names out and all that, act like he's paying double honors. Come on, man, cut the bullshit, man. Stop being a demon, and just, degenerate, and just deal with the scriptures for what they are, man. You don't have to prove everything that's in it. Like, tangible evidence, and certain things are spiritual, man. Look at Peter, man, when he pronounced that the law was the Lord. The Spirit revealed that to him. He didn't say that in the scriptures, man, for him to understand that. The Heavenly Father revealed it to open his mind and revealed that's the Lord Yahweh Shai, man. And he expressed that. And the Lord gave him a blessing because of that, man, because of the Spirit. So it's all about being spiritual, man. It ain't about being all carnal. Or I need this. And you're being like an Edomite. I need to do the archaeological steps and all that digs. And Jake don't dig shit up, man. You get all your proof and facts from Edomites, man, that dug up shit. So stop acting like you're the scholar of the earth, man.
Deuteronomy 29 and 29. The secret things belong unto the Lord our God, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. Right? So a reason I bring that up, because we know what we need to know. That's it. Right? There are certain things that the Lord has kept for himself that, you know, if the Lord deems fit, that he will let us know, you know, either in this life or in the kingdom. Right? But certain things like, for instance, in the book of Jeremiah, right, it speaks about how, for example, right, these heathen nations did what? That they took the bones out, man. Right, they dug up they dug up the bones, and then they did and laid them under the sun or whatever, what have you. Right, basically they spent a lot of time removing landmarks. What is a common theme when people take over a nation? To destroy their records, change history, right? What's that saying? You know, history is written by the victor, the victors, right? The conquerors. So for you to be like, oh, there's no history, but of course there may be no, because there is history, but it's just hidden.
Yeah, right? Esau's got a lot of stuff blocked away as well that you're never gonna find.
Because he doesn't want you to find, because it proves who we are. Exactly. What does the scripture say? It says in Psalms the 83rd chapter, right? You know, that the nations came together and said, let us cut them off from being a people. So that the heads of these nations know who we are. They have the records, right? What was Esau doing over there in Egypt? Because he was the first one to go Egypt, right? And you think
discovering all these different, the
hieroglyphs and all of that,
you break it down.
You think he wouldn't have taken any imagery that depicted Israel as us straight up? He would have taken it and he would have hidden it, or he would have straight destroyed it. Just in the same way, a lot of those Egyptian relics have their noses destroyed.
Yeah, the sphinx and all that shit.
Yeah,
they cut the shit off.
Even what do you call it? I remember you have, you know, relief when they cut into the stone, right? Even some of those noses are destroyed, right? So you can't, you know, Esau likes to say, oh, they got dropped during transport and all the noses broke, right? Yet no other artifacts ever, right?
Everything else is
intact, but the nose. The busts of all the Caesars are all good. They all have their noses, but it's just the ones from Egypt. But why that's going into the fact that Esau destroys history, man?
Yeah, because he's trying to whitewash everything, man. Just like they went to Mount Ararat and they found the pieces of the ark, because Esau likes to dig up shit. It says, the scripture says Esau does a diligent search, man. They search out things, man. They want to test the evidence to make sure that the scriptures is true, because they're a carnal being. And we understand that because Esau is carnal, but the scripture says that the wicked shall not understand, man. No matter how wise they get and how more technologically advanced they get, they're still not going to understand spiritually, because they're carnal beings, man. They're carnal beasts. They're cave monkeys, man. And you got Jake acting like these same cave monkeys now, man. They want empirical evidence and all that bullshit, man. Your empirical evidence is going to get you killed, man. Because you're doubting the power of the Lord, man. Next minute you're going to say this didn't happen because you can't prove it scientifically that the Lord turned water into wine. You know, shit like that. Or he never walked on water because it's the density and all that, the waves. You know what I'm saying? You're doing too much, man. Just stick to the script. When you first came into this truth, you weren't doing all this analytical dissecting of the scriptures, man. Trying to doubt the scriptures and doubt the power of the Lord. You weren't doing that. You was in awe. You was sitting there like a baby, sucking it all up. Now you're still a novice. You're in this thing for a little while, but now you got too big for your boots. That power's getting into your fucking head, and now you're thinking you're bigger than your predecessors and all that, man. You're losing your mind, man. You need to humble yourself, man. For the Lord do something to you, man, because you're adding and taking away from the scriptures. You're gonna add them curses onto your asses, man. We're only warning you. We ain't saying this out of hate. This is really out of love, man. Because you can't be butchering the scriptures. The true defenders of the gospel, as the apostles and elders, the great millstone, and the brothers on down are. That's what we're here to do, man. That's what a true defender of the gospel is going to do.
Yep. And if I can just say anyway, really, the main thing at this time is prophecies, man.
Prophecies, man.
Right? The you want to say, oh, that you got it wrong, that it wasn't 400, it was 200. Okay, cool. But when the scriptures speak about, in Second Ezra, when it says a man shall desire to go into the city, shall not able, has that not come to pass in a small bit? And we know it's going to come to pass even more. Has Russia not been a guard rather unto Iran, a guard unto Turkey?
Yeah, they're not stirred up.
Right? Are they not stirred up? Right? Is the Lord not putting hooks back into their jaws? Right? Is he not getting ready to implement a device where he's going to be able to control everyone? And if they don't get with the story, right, then they're going to be put down. Yep. Is that not happening? Right?
Is that not more important?
Exactly. So if those things are happening and those things are written in the scriptures, right, then just go with what you've been learned. Stop trying to be too big for your boots.
Yeah. Seeking out wisdom is too high, man.
Yeah.
Because you can't prove shit. We can't even prove our lineage, man.
That's it.
You can't prove with the 100% proof that we're the Israelites and from this forefather and that. We go off the facts of faith based off in the scriptures, man. And because we believe and the scriptures resonate with us as a people, and we're under these curses, we have more affinity to these scriptures than any other nation, man. So that proves that we're those people, man. But it's based off of faith, though. Because we ain't got no strips like we used to have back in the day with our forefathers, man. When you go and present yourself before a town or a city, you say your forefathers' names. We can't do that right now. We can just go off the fact that we know certain history and we know that we're from a particular tribe.
Man. You know what? If I can say, even that in itself is prophecy.
Prophecy, man.
Because it says this from Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. And I'll cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger which shall burn forever. Right? So as the brother was going into, we can't prove definitively who we are, but even then, that's the prophecies written of in the scriptures.
Yeah, it says in the land of Hosea 1, man.
Yeah.
You know,
there it shall be said, these truly are the children of the living power.
Yeah, because for a long time we didn't know who we were. We discontinued, man. We lost our way. We was lost. That's why they called the lost 12 tribes of Israel, man. We didn't know who the hell we was until the Great Awakening started from Elder Albert Bivens, man, which is John the Baptist, man. Elijah coming back in a reincarnation. Certain people can't even get over those hurdles, man, of reincarnation, man. Let alone the actual history, chronological history of us being in different captivities. You can't even get over the reincarnation, man. Certain Israelites, man. Yeah. So, forget about all that going in so deep. You know what I'm saying? Just stick to the scripts, man. Stick to what's been taught and deal with what's happening in now. Deal with prophecy, man. Because at the end of the day, when all hell breaks loose, everyone's going to be questioned. Everyone's faith is going to be questionable, man. And if your faith is not intact, even if it's as small as a grain of a mustard seed, and you end up taking the MOT to the B, you're going to be destroyed. So what is it all for? It's all vanity, isn't it? What are you arguing for? What are you debating for? All these debates. All these endless debates, this bare idle chatter. Obviously you're trying to sharpen swords and all that, but it's bare idle, bro. It's like, what is that towards salvation? Nothing, man. You're just there arguing with people that are never gonna agree with you. Fuck them niggas, man. These niggas are the same niggas that's gonna get put to death in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. We ain't got time to be debating no Moors and no Islamists, man. We don't give a shit about you niggas. You niggas don't believe. All right, when all hell breaks loose, you was told, man.
That says Romans 3 and 3. I've got 2. Romans 3 and 3. It says, for what if some did For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect?
Yes, plenty of people don't believe. But is that going to stop us from doing what we're doing? The whole world's against us, man. We're in a me against the world type movement, man. Because there's only a small number of us are walking to this truth against a whole nation of people, man, that are really against us, against the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's getting ready to be judged, man. Getting ready to be destroyed. So we're already accustomed to that, man. And the second Ezra 15 tells you, man, don't worry about the infidelity of these people, man. The incredulity of these people. Don't worry about their unbelief. We're not gonna break our heads to bash our heads to convince you that we're the Israelites and that you other niggas that's in these other false religions need to come out and come back to your heritage. If you don't wake up to the fact that you're an Israelite, it's because the Lord don't want you to. And there's stumbling blocks. Because the Lord's not coming to deliver all Israel right now, like he did in ancient Egypt. He's only coming to deliver the elect. So the importance of this truth is for the elect's sake. They're the ones that's going to be chosen at the end of the day. Everyone else is going to be put out of their misery, man. Whether you agree with it or not.
Yep. So second Ezra's 8 and 55. It's not the one I wanted. Yeah, it is kind of. I was actually looking. I think it's 1 and 9 where it says, "All the unfaithful so done, man." Faith.
Yeah. I mean, it's 6.
So, you have a load of our people, man, that are just straight, just demons, man. Right? Yeah. Here it is. They know, but would rather just 15 and 4. Can't order. Yeah, this is second Ezra's 15 and 4. I'll start from 3. Yeah. It says, "Fear not the imaginations against thee."
Yeah, so we don't have to fear these lost souls out here. We out here to wake up the elect. We've been given this truth. We're at the whole role, the good, the bad, and the ugly of the scriptures, and always commanded to do by the Lord. The commission, the great commission, it says in Matthew, go out and teach Israel, man. No matter where they're at, where they're scattered at in this major cities, go out and call upon Jerusalem, man, to come back to the fold. And the only ones that's going to hear the call is the elect. Revelation 14 and 14th chapter tells you the only ones that were able to sing that same song was the elect, man. And we're piping that same song right now. Those same souls are the ones that's going to be rejoicing in the chariots when the Lord returns, man. They're going to get the victory. They ain't going to accept the MOT to the beat. They're going to be delivered, man. They're going to maintain their faith unto the bitter end, the bittersweet end, man. So it's not about trying to convince everyone, man. You're going to have gainsayers. You're going to have all of these naysayers, man. But our job is not to convince everyone. It's to awaken the elect. That's our only job. And that's all we care about is the elect. Because 2/3 of our people, they're gone, man. Look at this nigga Mbappe, man. Yeah, this nigga's dating a damn tranny, man.
Yep. And you have a whole load of other niggas that are basically saying
down low niggas, man.
Yeah, that are basically saying, "Oh, what's wrong with it?
Yeah,
y'all are just phobic."
How many football players are coming out saying that they're down low niggas nowadays, man? Especially the Jake ones. They're all coming out in the closet, man. Yep. All these sports acts, the majority of them are Jakes, man. They're coming out saying, look, they're into fucking that alternative lifestyle, man. Because that's how they've been groomed up, man.
Yep. And if I could say the worst thing about the whole situation is he may not even be actually dealing with it, but because what the scripture says,
dealing with that motherfucker, definitely.
Yeah, real talk. The reason I was just saying that is that's just how Esau rolls.
Yeah, it's all propaganda.
Propaganda. Here it is. Because he's like what the highest paid football star ever.
Yeah.
Right.
He's an Israelite.
And he's an Israelite, and exactly he's got that dark skin, and one of the best sports.
Big influencer. Yeah, big like influencer. A Ronaldo. To these young kids. They're gonna see that. I'll say, oh, you can sleep with trannies now. Yeah. And these little kids are gonna be like, yeah, I want to get what they do.
And that's that witchcraft Esau used our people to do. But that's why the scripture says, right? The love of money is the root of all evil, and 2,
the hurtful word,
treasures, treasures. So it escapes, and I say, about how you got all the world's riches, right, and lose your own soul. That's it. Right, gain the whole world and lose your own soul. That's what this man has done. Because in contrast, you had another player on his team, right, who each time, because that's because they push all of their agendas. Each time the PSG team had to wear rainbow laces. This other
they wear pink and shit all the damn time. Every uniform pink and shit. When they do the slogans and the propaganda, like the posters and everything has to have pink and all these rainbow colors in it. They're pushing that agenda on the children, man, on the youth them. And the youths are easily influenced, man. They're impressionable beings, man. So this generation that's coming out now, they're totally fucked. Because now they got the Transformers going to churches now, man. Holding drag parades in fucking churches, man. Yep. For all ages. What kind of shit is that? That's abominations, man. Yep. What kind of learning is that, man? Why are you going to bring a drag queen in front of kids in supposed to be a holy place? It's in a holy establishment, which the Lord ain't dealing with them churches anyway. That's why the Lord called them harlot houses, man. You got the nerve to bring a drag queen in that vicinity and think that's going what is that? That's straight up wickedness, man. That's filth. That's worse than swine, man. That's like bringing swine's flesh into your congregation, man. What kind of shit is that? You know that shit is against the Lord's against all that shit, that androgynous demon type shit. That's an androgynous demon right there, man. So what the hell has that got to do with righteousness? That just shows you that this whole society is just totally wicked, and if the Lord don't come back, there's gonna be no flesh left to be saved, man. Because these people are totally gone, man. They're just accepting any forms of wickedness now, man. Calling evil good and good for evil.
Yep.
I got the one you was calling about. 1 Timothy 6:9 says, "But they that will fall, they that will be rich, fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts." Like my man Mbappe, man.
Yeah.
Because he's getting that money now, that Crayola. These different people got into his brain. You know, he's been groomed from a young age anyway to being that, like, living that lascivious lifestyle. So now he's just totally embracing it, and his spirit is he's basically declaring their sin as Sodom, man. And it's coming out now. And now he's into all these hurtful lusts, man. It's going to get his heart destroyed, man. Him and his followers.
Because I was going to say, I mean, you got to understand, isn't this motherfucker makes $400,000 a week
just for kicking a fucking ball, man.
A ball. So reason I bring that up is what real woman isn't gonna want to? In fact, you're gonna have he can have an army of women.
Yeah, they call them housewives. What do they call them?
Wags, wives and
now you got a tag. You ain't even got a wag no more. You got a tag. What the fuck, man? That's nasty, man. That shit is sick, bro. I just came up with that on the spot as well. No more. You don't even deal with wags no more. You're dealing with tags now. Straight up Transformers. And everyone's gonna start following the trend, man. They're gonna think it's cool because you already had basketball players doing certain dealing with Transformers and shit. That's big in America already, man. Certain rappers and all that dealing with, you know, gay lantern and all that. So this shit is sickening, man. This is a disease that needs to be purged. Yeah, it needs to be purged with that fire. That's why the Lord's got that fire coming, man. That fire gonna purge everything out of this place, man. 1 Timothy 6:9. So but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. And that's what you people are leading into. Mbappe, he's led down that road of perdition, man. He's gonna be destroyed, man. What he's doing, man. The Lord's not with all that, man. That alternative lifestyle shit, man. That's straight up wickedness, man.
Even if it's all a show, just for because you know that's part of that, you know, bewitching of our people. Even if it's all a show, right? Because in contrast, for example, in the scriptures, you have the example with Eliezer, right? 2 Maccabees, the 6th chapter, right, where Antiochus was just there, like, look, man, just pretend to eat the swine, right? But he was like, nah, because people are gonna see me do it and think it's cool, right? Because as Israel, right, we're ambassadors to the rest of Israel. That's why, for instance, when wickedness happened in Israel, guess what? It happened. It got judged openly. So the opposite, people will be like, "Oh shit, that's what happens when you do that." Like, I ain't trying to do that.
Yeah, that's a little leaven, man.
A little leaven.
That's what Esau loves to do. He loves to plant little seeds of leaven, man, and make Jake fucking lap it up because he throws money at them, throws the zeros at them. Says, "Yeah, look, man, this, you know, take this check, push this agenda for us, and you're gonna be all right, man. You're gonna be living nice, got a nice house, you know, on a plot of land. You have all these women and Transformers as well. You're gonna be good, man. Don't worry about the repercussions, man. Let us deal with all that." And most of these niggas, because they're so fucking soft in the spirit, man, they're weak-minded. They end up doing this shit, man. And then they forget. They feel bad about it later on in their life. But you already done the damn wicked deed, man. Now you got to pay. Man. Yeah, you already poisoned your people, man. With this diabolical shit, man. Now you want to take it back years later. You can't take it back. Even Wade, man. Wade talking about he wants to change the children's gender now, man. He wants to lawfully change it now in the books. He want to change his son's thing from a you know, straight up whatever the pronoun, whatever the fuck you want to call it, man. That nigga's gonna get put. Him and his wife, man. They're gonna get put to death, man.
Hey, the Lord made Kobe them, man.
Yeah.
Right. Something. Just the way the Lord took out Kobe and his daughter at the same time.
Yeah.
Right. The Lord may have it where that family, they're doing that private jet shit that elites like to do. Not elites, but you know, people in midair, so that the Lord can send a message. Right, because the Lord's gonna start doing that more and more.
Man. Switch that little bastard in the son that you got as well, man.
Hey,
gremlins.
Hey, the Lord may have it whereby they're in a car crash and it's the only one that died.
Yeah.
Just to show the world right? That this is what happens when you do wickedly, man.
All you wicked nigga Jake influencers, man, that are pushing this lascivious lifestyle on our people, man. May the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua destroy you, man. Visit your households, man. In the near coming future, man. He gonna destroy every single last one of you, man. Because you know what you're doing, man. Indirectly or directly, man. You know, subliminally or directly, man. You know, you motherfuckers know what you're doing. You know you sold out and you feel bad for what you're doing, but the majority of you're just demons anyway, man.
This is Amos 9 and 10. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent them.
So that means there's a lot of wicked ass jakes, man. There's a law that's specifically for wicked ass niggas. Yeah. That means there's a lot of jakes that are gonna get put to death, man. There's gonna be more jakes put to death than being saved.
Yeah.
2/3 is a big number, man. I read the article the other day. I did a sit down on it. There's 150 million men and women. They were saying more women were suffering regarding this food pandemic situation in the Americas more than men. Like they said, 66.6%. Like 2/3 of women are suffering more than the men. So that makes more sense because the 2/3 are the ones that's gonna be destroyed, and a lot of 2/3, the majority of them are women, man. A lot of you women are gonna get put to death in these last days, man, because you're part of this fucking you're pushing this system, man. You're about this alternative lifestyle, all that shit. You like the wicked agendas of the elites, man. You like pushing their customs on our people, man. You know, they're influencing our children to go off. You know,
like I that's why the scripture says, you know, refers to women as the weaker vessel, man.
Yeah, because it's easily susceptible.
Yeah, because when you go to a story in Genesis, right? What you call it? It says, I'll just read it real quick. It's Genesis 3 says, now the serpent, right, which that wasn't a slippery sliding thing, right? That's representative, you know, of these what you would now call an Edomite, right?
Yeah. That's the spirit of the serpent.
Spirit of the serpent. That's it. Slick, right?
Cunning.
Yep. Says was more subtle than any beast of the field, right?
Yeah, that word subtle there is the same word in Job 15:4. It talks about the crafty. That's the same word there, man. They're very crafty, man.
That's it.
That's Esau Edom for you. You like to do things inconspicuously, like subliminally.
Yeah.
They won't come out and outright tell you that they're the damn devil, but they'll show you in many different forms and fashions that they are the fucking devil, man. Just by the way they behave.
The way they behave and the way they do things. He likes to like for instance, I remember the elder brother Ricardo speaking about that film Inception, right? About how Leonardo. With Leonardo. That wasn't actually technically a sci-fi. Yeah, the whole going into dreams and all of that. That bit of it was sci-fi, but the whole concept of making someone believe an idea is theirs is basically what Esau does in this world, right? For instance, when you look at advertising, you think about how Esau got women to start smoking, mind control by way of Freud. Sigmund Freud, or rather, maybe it was either Sigmund Freud or his cousin Edward Bernays, where basically they was like, look, man, just say, put in that campaign which says, don't let a man tell you you can't smoke, right? And what was that one going into? That was going back into this same story, right? You know, that feminist shit, right? And that's how women started to smoke, right? Esau does things where he makes people think that an idea is actually their own. That is that craft, that is that subtlety, because when someone thinks an idea is their own, they own that idea.
That spirit of rebellion, man. Yeah. That's what Esau pushes, man. He wants people to rebel. He don't want people to follow the orders of the Lord, man. Like, no, you can do your own thing. You can be your own God. That's what the serpent said about Eve. So no, you can be your own God. You don't have to bow down to this man. You don't have to listen to take orders from men. You can be your own deity. And that's what you got now, man. That's why you got all these women deifying themselves and all that bullshit right now. The men bowing down to these women, calling them goddesses. And all they are is whores and sluts, man.
Real talk.
They can't close their legs or their fucking mouths, man.
Real talk.
That's all you got in society, just whores and sluts, man. Getting power, man. Getting greedy off that power. Because Esau Edom's giving them that liberty, man. The devil, the serpent, man. That old serpent, the devil, like it tells you Revelations 20. That's Esau Edom for you, man. The so-called white man. That's why Biden had the red background. It's proving that they're the same red serpents from back then. They're the red devil, man. The red nation of people. Esau Edom. That's Esau's spirit. Red bloodshed and all that. That's Esau.
That's it. So it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath the Most High said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Right? Pretty much the same question that once again that Edward Benet said to these brothers is like, what? Man told you not to smoke?
Philosophies, yeah.
Philosophies, right? That's what Esau is all about. It's all about going into your subconscious, right? And attacking you, planting seeds and attacking you from within.
That's why everyone's, back in the day, people were, engulfed in this transformer shit and the LGBT lifestyle. And now people just over engulfed in it, man. We're to the point where you don't even know who's who no more, man. It's just so acceptable in society. It's just total straight away. They got more rights than you now. People are just so beguiled and bewitched. They can't see sense no more, man. They don't even have morals no more. Now that's why they're saying they're letting drag queens in schools and churches and all of that. Because there's no more moral code no more, man. People are just acceptable to accept any form of wickedness, man. Because it makes you feel good.
Here it is. Here it is. You have children. You ask them, what you want to be. They'll be like a 6-year-old. Say they want to grow up and be a dragon. Say something dumb like that. Yet you're gonna take that individual seriously when they say, "Mommy, I feel like a girl." They don't know what the hell they're talking about, man. And it's your job as a parent to slap that out of them, man. That's what Scripture says. You gotta discipline the child. Exactly, man. You gotta hit them children, man.
Share your kids, man.
And that's
come to talk about they want to be a girl.
Yeah, and that's ultimately why the Lord separated us, man, as a people.
Yeah,
right.
He gave us laws. Yeah, to separate us from all these wicked, abominable behaviors of the heathens, man. Because they just have no boundaries. That's why they do the things. That's why they commit the wicked acts that they do. Because they have no boundaries, man. They'll go out and have sex with an animal, man sleep with another man, or androgynous, make a man a woman and all that, because they have no boundaries, man.
No boundaries. I was looking into why Thailand has so many transformers, right? And part of the reason it was basically going into in Hinduism, they've always had the concept of a quote third gender, right? Going into that whole thing about these different heathen nations had their own wicked, nasty ways, right? And that's once again, that's why the Lord separated us from these heathens, man. Because you think about when your kids go to school and they're around these heathens, what the hell are they picking up, man?
Now they got the pedo thing that you was going to.
Now
they got the called maps now. Don't offend them because he likes to sleep with little boys. What do you mean, man? Do you know how wicked that is?
That's it.
You know how nasty that shit is. You a mad grown ass man thinking about raping a little boy's anus.
True.
Now fucking despicable and diabolical that shit is, man. But you're saying don't offend the guy. Not even the child is gonna be suffering for trauma for the rest of his life after getting his batty ripped out by another man. You're thinking about the dude that's doing it. Talking about don't offend him. Because he likes to sleep with little boys. Just call them Matt. This place needs to be destroyed, man. You people are sick, man.
Yep. And we'll continue on. Verse 2 says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
Follow not the way of the heathen, man.
Yep.
The Lord gave us laws, statutes, and judgments, man. Even back then, the laws was oral, man. The time of Adam, going into the time of Noah. The laws was oral, man. They knew not to eat it wasn't really eating flesh like that, but they knew not to eat red, raw meat.
Yep.
They knew to cook the shit. If they was going to eat meat, they have to cook it through and through. You can't eat anything with the blood in it. But these heathens, they like to eat I was on, away, eating steak and all that. I said, guys looking at me, I said, I want the shit well done. He looked at me and said, you want medium? I said, nah, man, well done. He looked at me. You know how to give you that look. And everyone else is standing around me, Edomites, waiting for that because he's cooking it on the grill in front of you. They're waiting for the medium one. But as soon as I said, no, I want my shit well done, everyone felt bad. Everyone's standing there looking like, why does he want his shit well done? And then everyone else is there waiting for some medium shit with the blood in it, looking all stupid, man. Because you people are a bunch of fucking heathens, man.
Yep, and that's why the scripture says, Jeremiah 2:33, why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love? Because these scriptures are our backbone.
Yeah.
Which is why we're like, no, I want it well done.
Want it well done.
But he will pressure you, man. I remember I got shown because people at my work, they know I eat my shit well done. Right. And they basically one of them sent me a screenshot of a menu, which was like, you'd never do. Basically, was mocking people who eat their meat well done, in it, right? And he was laughing at because that's how they do it, right? But this is the thing; it's sort of like everything about this culture and society is backwards. Because in the kingdom, right, we ain't gonna, what's one of the things? Aged lamb is one of the aged meats,
veal and shit like that,
and all of that.
Nastiness, man. Ain't supposed to be, damn veal, man, baby lambs, man. Talking about it tastes good. No, it don't, man.
It don't.
You ain't supposed to be cooking no damn meat rare, raw and all that, medium rare.
Yep.
You're supposed to cook that shit through and through, man.
I'll even go and say this, even if it tastes, but you ain't supposed to do it anyway. The Lord said, nah. How about that,
man?
Because there's certain, for instance,
you know better than the Lord.
Yeah, that's it. If I can say, not to get graphic, but pussy feels good.
Yeah.
But if it's another man's pussy,
you
can't
touch
it.
That's sloppy seconds, man. That's contaminated goods. These hoes are contaminated as enough as it is anyway. But you definitely don't want to do another man's things. That's straight up some homophobic type shit, man. Yeah. You up in there, another man's seed, man, touching his seed and all that. Yeah. That's nastiness, man. Been where another man's at.
Yeah.
Fuck all that, man. But that's the lifestyle this wicked ass society pushes. Because they push like pussy, like the greatest thing on earth. Yeah, the end all be all for man.
Yeah.
There's more to life than this fucking pussy, man.
Yeah.
And you can get fresh pussy. You don't have to deal with everyone else's. So sloppy seconds, man. Yeah, man. That's what the whole industry and all these industries that go around dealing with the same women. That shit is nasty, man. You wonder why you end up all kinds of disease.
Yeah. Verse.
Oh, there's women on the earth that ain't been touched, man.
Yeah.
Like the women of Shiloh, like Jet Benjamin. Yeah. Those women that was dancing in the parade and all that, they weren't touched, man. They was virgins, man. Yeah. So the Lord said, go into that city right there, that town, and grab up the women of Shiloh and bust nuts in them, man, and bring back your seed. That's fresh pussy, man. Yeah. You don't have to go around touching other man's pussy, man. Cool. There's enough women on this earth for everyone, man, to share, man. Well, not to share, but to have for your own, to yourself. Yeah. That's why one man can have 1,000 women, man. Yeah. King Solomon did it. He didn't sleep with another man's wife. Another man's wife. He had 1,000 of them, and he didn't commit adultery. So what's the fucking excuse for trying to lay down? The pussy's everywhere, man.
That's it.
It's expendable. It's everywhere, man.
Yep. Yep. Verse 4 says, and the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die.
Lie to the bitch, man.
Lie to her. And
because of Eve, we all die now.
All die. That's it.
That's the lie that you convinced her. And because of that one act that she did, we all fucking die now. Yep. Back then, you could live up to 1,000 years. And Methuselah, he lived up to 969. You could live up to 1,000 years and still have energy, man. Still be energetic, so to speak.
Yeah.
But now we barely make it to 60, 70. You had the one actor, not actor, a singer or whatever. Just recently, this week, 2 days ago, he just dropped dead. He was 62. Jay.
Jay. Okay.
I can't remember what is it. I think it was either a singer or an actor, man. One of them.
Well,
there
was another one that was one of the news presenters. He was like 60 something as well.
Yeah,
just dropped dead of cancer. Dead.
There you go, man. Life expectancy has been cut short. But we wasn't always like that, man. In the ancient world, we could live for a long ass time, man, and still be healthy, live good, man.
Yeah.
So we're under these curses, man, but mainly because of the nigger woman, man, Eve, man.
And to this day.
To this day, man.
But that same formula is what Esau's been replicating ever since, right? That's why when you look at the movements that came first, right, was you had the civil rights and whatever, what have you, but a key movement was the liberating, quote unquote, of these women. In fact, no, that was right. That was in the early 1900s, early 1900s, late 1800s. To the early 1900s, you started having the suffragettes and all of that sort of stuff,
revolution,
right? And then then eventually came along the whole, in 1964, the sexual revolution. So the second wave of feminism, right? So that whole feminism thing, the reason why Esau pushed very hard on that was it allowed him to build on top of the wickedness, because he knows when you go to a woman first, the men follow. Right. Yeah. So 1964, you had the sexual revolution, right? Then around about the 1970s, which as the scriptures speak about, when you shall reach the heavens, then shall bring you down. And morally, America started really degrading around about that period, right? Then 1970s, you had what is this thing called like Stonewall, right? Which was when them moles started getting more and more recognition, right? Because once again, he knows he goes to the woman, and then she, what you call it, she then weaponizes her against the man, and then the man follows. So like
reinforce the shit. That's what the woman's there to do. That's why Eve and the serpent, they're together.
Yeah.
They're against the Israelite man. That's why Eve's gonna fall with the damn serpent, man. In this day and age, they're gonna go down together, man. Because these women ain't right in their fucking mind. They're too careless, man. You know. Go ahead.
Sirach 25:24. The woman came to the beginning of sin, and through her we all died.
What is sin? Transgression of the law, man.
Yeah.
When you break one of the law, statutes, and judgments of the Lord, that is a sin. You've broken the oath of the Lord. Oh, that's a transgression, man. A form of rebellion. And that's what these Evites and Evites are doing out here, man. On a constant, man. This is getting worse and worse over periods of time. Now, you know, you can't tell a woman shit, man. The feminists and all that shit. Now these women feel so empowered that men can't even talk to them no more. You can't talk down to them. You can't put them in order. You know, if you do that, you're seen as a misogynist or toxic, you know.
Yeah.
Now they got laws in the books like, you know, verbal abuse and all this bullshit. You can get done for verbal and emotional abuse. What kind of shit is that?
How do you even prove that?
This is your word against mine kind of type shit.
Which our laws are completely against. My word against yours.
Yeah, you gotta have two witnesses,
man. Because people always ask that dumb question: oh, how comes there's so few rape convictions? Because it's usually one person's word another person's.
State, and the whole system's built to be against a man anyway. Yeah. You're guilty before proven innocent.
That's it. But the thing is, with those crimes, you're just guilty.
Yeah, you're just guilty.
You're just guilty.
That's why you get arrested straight away.
Yeah, and regardless of whether it comes out that, you know, she was straight up lies and you couldn't have been like, look, I was at work that day. Look, I was all.
No alibi.
But your colleagues, even after they, you know, corroborated your story, they still look at you sideways. They still look at you so.
What? You're still a criminal.
Yeah, because they've weaponized that, man. Because so once again, as we read, the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
This is the society we live in, man. Yep. And over time, it's just got drastically worse. It's Babylon the Great, land of confusion, man.
Yep.
Land of injustice, man. You know, but the Lord's coming with the solution. That's that fire, man.
Yeah.
That fire gonna stop. You know, they're gonna cut everything down, man. They're gonna purge everything on the earth, people's minds, all of that. All these people with unclean spirits in them. When that fire touches ground zero, all those spirits are going to vanquish, man, out of these people, man. A lot, and the people with it.
It is 2 Peter 3:9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us, we're not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. For the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Yeah, the only ones that's going to repent is the elect. The only ones that's going to be sorrowful and cry unto the Lord, and sigh and cry for all the abominations that's done in the midst of it, is the elect. Everyone else is going to carry on with their, you know, their daily works of wickedness, basically, man. They're going to act like nothing's going on. You know, as just like the situation with Bangladesh and all these uprisings and sedition amongst the people are still acting like, you know, shit is sweet out here, man. Like things are just going to get better over time. Not knowing that things are going to get drastically more and more worse.
Yeah.
All hell's really going to, it's the beginning. And all hell's really going to break. You've got droughts. Different countries, they talk about that. There was 1 million homes or something like that, residencies in America, out of, what was it, water or electricity or something like that. A lot of homes got cut off, you know, because, you know, supplies are low, you know, and then, you know, so much droughts going on. You got you got all kinds of storms. Spain hitting with all kinds of storms and floods, hailstones and shit like that. You know, all kinds of hell's breaking loose, man. The Lord's judging the earth. He's visiting the earth which he made. But these people are still lost in the source, man. So the Lord gonna have to amplify it, turn up. That's why this is the year to turn up, man. Yahweh Shem Yahshua gonna turn up on you people. And now the death toll this winter is gonna be extremely high, man. Lord's will it is, man. Abaratazar, man. Because these people need a rude awakening, man. They need to see what real life is all about, man.
You've got two things happening at the same time. More and more people are now starting to, you know, how do I say this safely? More and more people are starting to feel the effects of the serpent's venom, right? That has been administered over the last 2 years to the end that more and more people in the mainstream are like, yo, something ain't right. Less babies are being born, right? Rough, I was, reading into that. Less and more people are dying, with no cause of death, right? More and more unexplained deaths, right? What you call it, excess mortality ratings, right?
But then I was watching one thing today. It's called FYI on BBC News. It's like the kids' version of news, and they're pushing that from this September, the schools are reopening. That they're saying that these kids should get jabbed up again, man. They're saying that they should get all these different boosters and all that, trying to make excuses of why the venom is good for you to take. After all the cases has come out of people suffering from mad side effects, dropping dead and all these different things, they're still trying to push it like to say it's not doing nothing. Talking about there's mild side effects. I had the nerve to say there's no real side effects. You might have an itchy arm for 24 hours and shit like that. When there's people actual cases of people dropping dead, being paralyzed, suffering from heart attacks and strokes from taking that fucking jab, man.
I was speaking with a brother. He said his relative knew someone whose heart exploded. Not had a heart attack, man. Not had a heart attack. Whose heart exploded.
I can imagine, man. That shit must have been beating overtime, man. And that shit couldn't pump no more. Just boom. Imagine that, your heart exploding in your chest, man. You're done. You're done, man. You ain't recovering from that. That's what taking that damn juice would do to you.
But what do we always say? Shame on you.
Yeah, you deserve what you get, man.
You knew you would want.
Now they're coming out saying certain things like, if you take this and certain side effects. But before, when people was warning, it was calling it misinformation.
The same government website, right? The UK.gov, right? The UK's government website said at the beginning that it was okay for women who are pregnant to take it. Now the advice is that women who are expecting or trying to have children shouldn't take it. And people have screenshotted it because you've got, for instance, the Wayback Machine, which is an archive of how our website looked on a particular day. Right. So he basically, you have the snapshot in time of when he said it was safe to now he's saying they shouldn't get it, right? But people are still gonna say go and get it, right? Why? Because they've trusted in the devil. Scripture says never trust thine enemy, man.
An agenda. They want to depopulate, man. Want to cut down the numbers, man.
That's it.
And that's what Esau is doing right now. That's why Bill Gates talking about he got a whole bunch of 2 million mosquitoes that he just created in a lab ready to release it. Them mosquitoes gonna chop you. When they start biting your asses, that's a new pandemic, man. These devils are always trying to recreate and do new, create new, more viral diseases, man. But to just depopulate and destroy the people. Now they got the mosquitoes ready to be released.
Continuing on, 2 Peter 3 and I'll stop 10. I'll stop from top again. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. It's going into them, ICBM nuclear missiles and hypersonic missiles.
And that's going to be the end all and be all of this whole scenario, man. That's going to be the beautiful end tell of this fucking horror movie that we've been living for the past 400 or 500 years, man. This devil going to go down in fire and flames, man, by his own fucking sword, by his own fucking blessing, which is that sword. That's why Russians always keep the what did that the IAEA go take over to Iraq, Ukraine, over that nuclear plant and shit, man, to inspect it. They know that Russia's working on that plutonium, man.
Oh, you know what that was? That was because Ukraine's been bombing it.
But Russia own that shit now. They took over it. So they're gonna be using that shit for their benefit, man. They're gonna be using that plutonium, whatever they have to do to make sure they get some more powerful missiles, man, to shoot on America. Because that's who it's intended for. So that's why they sent the IAEA, because if they didn't let them come in, that would have been an act of, the declaration of war, basically.
Then also you have Iran, right, who have now basically in this week as well have started purifying their uranium. Then you got Iran who started purifying their uranium to a much higher level that's coming closer towards weapons grade. And the thing is, they've probably already got weapons grade somewhere, man. Right? Because at the end of the day, the Lord is basically putting it on these heathen nations. But let me grab them, man. Some Joel.
So well, man.
Yeah.
Let the weak say I'm strong. The Lord's stirring up the Medes. Putin, they're getting ready to go to war with America. They're like, fuck it, man.
Yeah.
Because they know America's finished. They know that demonocracy that they're trying to enforce. And, you know, Putin's acting like, you know, he's not really down with the elites program, but basically, he wants to do his own thing. So there is going to be a nuclear war, man. And Esau going to lose on both ends. Because there's going to be Russian Edomites fighting against American Edomites, man. Fighting against British Edomites and other European NATO counterparts. And they all going to destroy each other, man. With that power, that sword. Esau's blessing going to destroy his own ass with the blessing of the sword.
And all of these countries that have alliance with them as well.
Yeah, China going to get in there.
China's going to get in there. China going to get hit in certain places.
No, Iran
going to get hit. But hey, that's why, once again, we ain't here because you had that stupid Black Panther film, right? Where where Mr. Wakanda goes up to the UN, right? And he's trying to beg. No, we ain't about
we don't need we need peace.
We need peace, right? You know, it's probably a reason why the Lord, because Jake started worshiping him, man.
Killmonger was like, yeah, that's why the Lord took his ass out. Killmonger was like, look, fuck that peace shit, man.
It was like, here it is, we're the greatest nation on earth. Because even in that same time when they went into the UN, we're gonna go to you for help.
You killed man's father.
Yeah,
they killed his father, bro.
Yeah.
The fucking Marvel characters, whatever you want to call them, the Iron Man, whoever it was, they killed his T'Challa's father, man, at a fucking UN meeting, whatever meeting it was in Nigeria, man. That's not no fucking winky thing, you know. They went and just bombed up the place, you know. And that's what Esau does. That's to go to third world countries and bomb up the place, destroy world leaders and all that.
Yeah.
So that's not winky thing. But this guy T'Challa is such a sin. He still wanted to make peace with these motherfuckers, man. After they just murdered your father, man. You know. But Killmonger was like, fuck that, man.
Yeah.
They killed my uncle. They, you know, these people are supposed to be beneath us. We got all this superiority over them, all this natural resource and power. Fuck these people, man. Let's take over the world. Let's take over the globe. That's what Killmonger was on. That's probably why Michael B. Jordan's character, Jordan's still alive, and you know, Chadwick Boseman's dead.
Because he's basically saying what we say. Because that's what he was saying is scriptural, or rather what was represented was scriptural. This is.
But they're always seen as the villain, the one that wants to take over the earth and do the, you know, the re-emerging and, you know, coming as a new power. You know, they're the villain, so to speak.
Yeah.
When he want to enslave everyone.
Yeah. It's Ecclesiastes 10:7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. And that's what that you know, that particular character was saying. And it's in reality. Here it is. You have the basis of men and rulership, right? And you're just there having to be like, oh, take orders from this guy, man.
Forever.
Forever.
Complacent with that.
Yeah.
Fuck that, man.
Yeah. These times you have this. So, and that's literally why we're out here. Right? We're out here because, you know, we're you know, what, you know, Spirit has got us to rile up and to basically call upon the Lord so that the Lord can come and correct this error which is in the earth, man. Because this is an error for this Edomite to be in power, man.
Yeah, they earn leadership.
Yeah.
Which says that. But they're not the rightful rulers of the earth. They're not the guardians of the galaxy. The real guardians of the earth and the galaxy are the children of Israel.
That's it.
The whole earth was made for our sakes. The whole universe was made for our sakes. Because we're going to inhabit the whole universe, man. We're going to take care of everything, man. We're the real guardians, man, of the galaxy, man. Not no damn Edomites. They go around destroying shit, man. As you can blatantly see, they're the masters of disaster. Anything they touch, anything they do is to destroy, man. And they don't care about the repercussions. They don't care about the Most High's feelings, man. You haven't even had this small hat come out and say, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We don't give a fuck, and we don't care. These Edomites are saying that they don't. Psalm 10 tells you that the Most High is not in all in their thoughts, man. They don't care about the Most High and these law, statutes, and judgments. These small hats just want to do their own thing.
But if I can say that's right in their spirit, because they ain't got nothing to do with them.
Exactly.
You know, none of the wicked shall understand.
Yeah.
The wicked shall do wicked.
The Lord's not dealing with these other nations. He's only concerned with the nation of Israel.
That's right.
But yet and still, 2/3 of our people, they're rebellious. So they're going to end up getting a rebellious is death, rebellion is judgment, which is that death, that nuclear fire, man.
Well, I've got Joel, but let me just finish this in Peter. 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Yeah, so the Lord likes to deal with suspense, surprise. He likes to deal with the element of surprise, man. And he's giving people fair warning, man. Telling people to repent, get right, stop doing the wickedness. You know, stop loving the world, the things thereof. Come out of this mindset of this place, man. Because this place will utterly destroy you. Now you can see why. Because this place will indoctrinate you to just straight up rebel against the Lord. 1 minute you're down for the Lord, keeping the Lord, statutes, and judgment. Next minute you're into transformers and all that, man. You're just totally lost, totally gone, man. Eating swine's flesh like it's nothing. Crab, all these things. You know, this place will destroy you, man. It'll indoctrinate you against the Lord, man. That's why we need to be delivered. We can't love this society, man. All the people that are in it, if they're not down for the Lord's,
they're an enemy.
Yeah, they're an enemy, man.
A Matrix told you that, man, and showed you that beautifully.
Yeah,
it's, you know, because you'd have individuals who are normal, but then you'd literally see them morph into agents, and that's basically what was representing. You have someone that is so-called cool, but then here it is, Satan will just jump on that individual, and then the demon will come out of that individual, man. They're inner demons.
They're bots to Satan.
That's
even Morpheus said that these people will kill to stay in the Matrix, man.
Yeah.
They're not you know, they're not eligible to be woken up right now. But these people they're just totally sleep under that sleep paralysis, man. Yeah, they're so dependent on this that they'll fight for it. Yeah.
Real talk. And that's why they come up against, you know, the men of the Lord. Exactly. Starting off with the apostles on down, they come up saying, "Oh, you're saying this, you're saying that, it's off because of this." You know, all of that crap. Why? Because ultimately, ultimately they love this world, right? And they want it to continue, right? But it's
being wicked is too easy.
To
do the bad thing. It's hard to do the
righteous thing, especially because this world is so filthy and wicked, man. Right. You know, that's why ultimately we're under grace, but even, you know, but then we still strive to do the best that we can. Right. But because we know we can't get it perfect, because really, you know, all the food we eat is contaminated. Everything is tainted, man.
You get rewarded for wickedness as well.
And you get, right. Because once again, that's why I was doing a video with the brother. Right. That's why in this world, for instance, Jake doesn't, you know, one of multiple reasons why, but one of the ones is that Jake doesn't, progress in his kingdom is as a people, we're an honest people. But to get up in this world, guess what? You got to be a liar. You got to be shyster. And and there's actually there was actually a study done by either Oxford or Cambridge, which came out and said people who lie are more, you know, get better, more successful in his kingdom. And that's exactly what the scripture says. As the ruler of the city is, so are all his citizens, man. Right? Us as a people, you know, Jake kind of feel a type of way when they lie about certain things and this, that, and the other. Right, but guess what? The more Jake gets into the system, the more they become Edomite spiritually.
They get seduced by the wicked.
You know, they start being assholes like that, man.
That's why the whole Jake, they want to try and build something, but they want to be in the industries where these Edomites are, everything in the prosperity of the wicked. And they end up doing the same shystiness that a small hat will do to them. All these deals and all that, they end up doing the same shit to their own people because you're under the influence of that vibration, of the devil, man. Diddy, Mace, even Mace, they were saying Mace was doing the same thing to Fabio. Giving him back doing shysty deals with him. And didn't really take care of him. Now he's popular. Now he wants some, wants some bread or whatever. But the same thing was done to him by Diddy, and Diddy same shit was done to him by his predecessors, man. There's just a chain of wickedness, man, skullduggery. And Jake wanna, follow the so-called small hats, the so-called white man for what they do, how they build empires. But that's not the right way to build an empire. You can't build an empire in wickedness, man, and think it's gonna be successful. And that shit's gonna crumble, man.
Say the proof of that is his kingdom is being destroyed. Right.
Because you might get little perks and shit in the meantime. But in the long run, that shit gonna fall apart, man, and then you're gonna get a bad reputation as well. That's why all these execs and they all have bad reputations, man, of being skullduggery, like shysters and non-trustworthy and all that. And then the same wicked ass niggas that sign to these, they end up doing the same shit to their own people. And you wonder why you can't build your own empires and so-called economies and shit like that. Because you're under the influence of the devil, man. You're following his recipes of disaster instead of following our recipes of protocols, where the Lord said in Joshua, first chapter, if you follow the Lord's statutes and judgments, you'll be prosperous, man. You'll have much success. Jake don't want to do that, man. Jake want to follow the devil because his shit is the fast way, the fast life. Short. What's it? Not long expectations, but short. short rewards and
short-term
rewards and shit like that. Huh?
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification, yeah. That's what Jake want, man. They want everything now, that fast life. Yeah. Like these devils, man.
Yeah, because that's the spirit that Esau has put in this world, isn't it?
Yeah.
But in the kingdom of Israel, one, because we're gonna live forever, we're gonna take our time.
Yeah, man. We don't have to rush, man.
Do it right.
We're gonna have generational wealth and all that.
That's it.
We don't have to rush to, do any hasty movements and make some stupid investments to lose all our money.
Yeah.
Because you got too excited. You was listening to the damn devil. We're gonna take our time, we're gonna build our inheritances and our empires from the first day up to the thousandth day, man. We just gonna keep building and keep multiplying and keep getting more and more richer, man, because we ain't gonna be broke in the kingdom, man. We ain't gonna have to go to this devil for the want of all things. We ain't gonna have to go to him for no welfare check. None of that shit. We're gonna be
you shall be the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the scripture says that the curses, Deuteronomy 32:7, so the curses that are on us will go on our enemies.
Yeah.
Right now, we are the tail, and Esau is the head.
Yeah.
Right? So we go to Esau, but in the kingdom, he's gonna come to us, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna be the head.
Yeah.
Right? And all these heathen nations, they gonna be the tail, man.
Yeah. We gonna deal with real money, man. Gold, silver. We'll weights and balances. We ain't gonna be dealing with no damn paperback system no more in the kingdom. We're gonna go back to having weights and coins and all that kind of stuff, whatever it's gonna be. But we're gonna have real money, real wealth, not no fucking paperless, FRN system that's a debt bearing note basically.
Here's me finish off. Says and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
Yeah, right. That's what's gonna happen, man.
Yeah,
and there ain't gonna be no usury in the kingdom either. Our system's gonna be a lawful system, man. Everything's gonna be balanced. Because the Lord said that imbalance is an abomination to him. Everything's gonna be balanced, man. Not like Esau society.
Yep. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
And this goes to the point where we speak about earlier from the beginning. Dealing with prophecy, man. If you know what time you're in, what are you supposed to be really focused upon and talking about? Wow. That's all we're supposed to be dealing with, man. The testimony of Yahweh Shai, the spirit of prophecy. We're not out here discussing or debating history, man. Like, it's good to talk about these things. So obviously it broadens your awareness and your learning and all that. Yeah. But really, we're supposed to be dealing with these prophecies, man. Watching on the news, seeing what's the highlights and going on, what's breaking news and all that, seeing all this shit unfolding around the four winds of the earth. And filtering it through the scriptures and saying, see, this is that time, this is coming to pass, we're getting closer and closer to the day of the Lord. And encouraging Jake to, stay in the spirit and get ready, man, gird up, because things are going to get, worse, man. The rides about to get bumpier.
Yeah, because especially the thing with the history as well is ultimately those people that are truly believing in the history as opposed to believing in the scriptures.
They believe in the Lord, though.
Yeah. But what they say is those people really they're believing in Esau. They're believing Esau's put together a right report. Now, if we read something in the history and then we read it in the scriptures and it corroborates what the scriptures say, we're like, yeah, that makes sense, right? So they're doing it the wrong way around.
Yeah, we don't base everything off empirical evidence.
Yeah, man. We base everything off the scriptures. The scriptures corroborate this world, not the other way around.
Exactly.
Right?
It's not written chronologically, like in order.
Yeah.
Like in the book of Revelation, it jumps from one part of history to another.
Yeah.
So if you're not spiritually smart, got your wits about you, you're gonna end up butchering the scriptures, because some of the scriptures and the precepts bounce off throughout history, man. It goes into the The Lord did that on purpose, man, because it's a puzzle at the end of the day. It's only given the mysteries to certain men, his servants, which are the prophets. And every man is not a servant, man, and every man is not a prophet of the Lord. So the Lord did that for a reason, man, because he knew in these last days you have niggas, scoffers, scorners coming and trying to add and take away from the scriptures and saying, that's a contradiction and all this other stuff that they try and come up with. Yeah. The reason and excuses are not wanting to repent, bow down to the Lord.
Yeah. So 2 Corinthians 4:3, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
So there's a lot of lost souls out here. Yeah. The only ones that ain't going to be lost is the elect, man.
That's it.
They're the only ones that's going to wake up and get this truth, no matter how crazy it sounds. They're going to accept it, man. They ain't gonna doubt the power of the Lord. They ain't gonna doubt scriptures.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna doubt the Lord's judgments.
Yeah.
You know, they ain't gonna doubt the history.
And if they understand the concept of an elect, right? Because if there's an elect, that means there are those that ain't elected, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that means that the Lord has designed a system but that system, that's this world, the Lord has designed this world such that there are going to be ways for people to not get the truth, i.e. there's going to be stumbling blocks, man.
Yep.
Right? And that whole thing about, history this, history that ends up being a stumbling block to a load of people, man. Because it's a thing of like, your mind isn't in the right place. Because as we were going into, right, it's ultimately about the prophecies, man.
End up limiting yourself.
Yeah. By what, so you end up limiting yourself to what Esau has proven.
I mean,
yeah. Yeah. Shalom, huh? Good. You know, that's it. Because once again, and it's it's little things like that we see the Lord doing His thing.
Spirit, man. Spirit, everything's spiritual. Remember, everything's made through the Spirit, from the Father's spirits. Trees, everything has organism, man. Organisms have spirits, man.
Yeah.
You know, everything has a spirit on this earth. The plants, everything, man. We have the joy of.
Yeah.
The Lord deals with man.
That's it.
We're not animals, man. The Lord gives the animals a different spirit. They're not on the level of a human being. The Lord deals intently with men, because He wants them to be the leaders on the earth, for other men to follow, so to speak. But you got to follow them in righteousness, man. You got your righteous examples, and you got your unrighteous examples, man. Niggas of the world, you don't want to follow these guys, man. But they're going through a downward spiral of a road to perdition, man. You know, and a lot of them followers are going to end up being destroyed with them, like I told you. The second chapter, there's a lot of false prophets out here. And we're out here to warn our people of them too. Even the Lord warned us, man. He said He's gonna be in the sheep's amidst the wolves. You know, they're gonna be false shepherds out here. You gotta be wary. You gotta be careful out here.
Yeah.
So we're doing the same thing the Lord said to do, man. This ain't no hate speech or hating on another brother or camp or anything. But you gotta go pay all these other guys out here, especially when they're teaching certain things.
Yeah. Scripture says, trust not every brother.
Perverting the gospel, man.
Yeah.
Stick to the script, man. Don't start adding and taking away. Just stick to what you've been taught, man.
Yeah.
You don't know any more better than the teachers that was taught us, man. Yeah. Stop trying to be over righteous, man, and overzealous. End up destroying yourself, man.
Really don't know nothing. Because I think about, for instance, Apostle Kabar speaks on that word elder a lot. Right? I mean,
you said you got to be 20 years or more.
Yeah, because that's more scriptural in terms of like going into the
Hold up,
what in the scriptures. I forgot what position, whether I think it might have been a priest, but basically it was basically going into that whole concept of like a man needs to be learned. Yeah. Right? He needs to have that experience. Right? This ain't something you can just get in a few days.
Yeah, this ain't no instant gratification.
Yeah.
You gotta grow in this thing, man.
You gotta grow. You gotta mess up.
You gotta try things out.
You gotta try things out. You know, you gotta learn from your mistakes. Because that's it. That's why we fall, right? Yeah. So that we can learn our mistakes, and then when makes you better. Exactly. And then, for instance, when the apostles say, they may say, hey, I wouldn't really do such and such. It's because they've experienced it and they know doing such and such doesn't end well.
Yeah, that's why one of the main things they told Jake from the beginning, from the first coming to this team, we always said it, stay away from the nigga woman, man. And over time, you come to realize why. Now you definitely should know why. You don't even have to question why. You just go on TikTok and all these different things, and you can see why you should stay away from the nigga woman, man. If you didn't know before, now you definitely know. But from back then, when you had judgment and all that bitch, that demon, that dreaded demon that came up to the camp, talking about judgment. From that time then, World Star Hip Hop time, till now, the nigga woman's got totally worse, man. They're just totally gone.
That's a good chick nowadays.
Yeah, she's somewhat virtuous compared to the bitches now. They're just totally gone. They don't want to cook. They don't want to clean. They don't even want to be called women anymore. They just want to be like in the masculine. They want to be feminist and all this bullshit. But when all hell breaks loose, then they're gonna go back, want to resort back to their natural order of things. Of I need a man. No, men ain't gonna be shit no more. That's when you women are gonna be catching untimely help, and deservedly so. But that's one example, clearly, of it through the spirit of experience that the apostles and elders have had. Stay away from Eve, man. And you can see it, man. Because Eve she's a devil, man. She's a she-devil. She's with the damn devil, man. She's against the Israelite man.
Yeah, it's the Edomite man. Might even say it's the Israelite woman, then the Edomite woman.
Yeah. No, it's true, man.
You know,
Eve, man. You know, man.
Because the thing is, Eve has the same pulling, you know, Jake as a nation, we have a pulling power for the rest of these nations, right? And what I mean by that, when you have Jake, the Israelite man, let's say he starts, break dancing, all of the men in the rest of the world like, yo, what's that thing they're doing? Let me try it. Now Esau knows the same with these women too. So when he's trying to push agendas, who is he bringing out? He's bringing out Eve, man.
Yeah, he's the first one to pull out to bring out for the jump shot.
Yeah.
Eve was there. Go and get your gem shots and all that, man.
Yep.
She's the first one. Kamala Harris advocating for the devil, married to a devil. Advocating for the white president. You know, it's always Eve, man.
Yeah.
They always use Eve as the devil's advocate, man. She's the devil's advocate, man. She advocates for these devils, man.
Yeah.
Against our people, man, especially the Israelite man.
That's it. Hey, when she was judge, well, she was doing all kind of wickedness,
throwing
man.
Jake and Joe, throwing away the lock and the key, man.
Yeah. Ketanji Brown, that's another one, the Supreme Court judge, married to another Amalekite.
Black heifers, man. You stay away from these niggas. That's just one example of what we saying that apostles and elders have experience about, and that's why they told Jake to stay away. There's other things as well, but it all goes back into the scriptures. The scripture tells you that all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. And even King Solomon did an experiment of 1,000 women. They came to find out that they're all wicked, man. And one more wicked than the other.
I was reasoning with a brother on this. What do you call it? If the other day, if one of those women that that King Solomon said was wicked, right, came here today, we'd consider that wifey material. You'd be like, yo, shit, she's hot. That's a house. You're like, yo, she's great. But King Solomon back then was like, oh, this bitch wicked. So how degenerate are the ones today? Is then the question that follows up after that. When a bro says, oh shit, that's deep. That's deep, man.
That's why we call them our demons, man. Because they're straight up demons. Some are worse than others. But the nigga woman, she's the top of the top when it comes to demonic energy, man. Yeah. So you don't want to deal with that, man. Deal with the other tribes or deal with another nation's women, man. Because they're less fucking harmful. Less to just deal with, basically. More or less headache, should I say, man. When you want to deal with a nigga woman, you got to deal with basically dating yourself. She want to be the alpha. She want to, compete with you. Everything's a competition. She want to debate you and all that. She don't want to take orders. She want to give orders. That's what you got to deal with when you deal with a nigga woman, man.
I'll find that one in sorts going into experience.
While she's out here fucking and sucking every Tom, Dick, Harry, and Sally out here, being a whore and a slut, got an account in OnlyFans, but she's trying to dictate to you how you're not a man, and how you ain't shit. So this place is totally upside down. That's why the reordering is going to come back, man. The order is going to come back when the Lord comes back into Babylon, man. When the Lord comes back into this hemisphere, order is going to be reestablished, man.
Jeremiah 31:22. It says, how long will thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
Yeah, we're going to see how much of a woman you are in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Because then you women are going to realize you definitely need not just any man, but an Israelite man to protect you. Because you're coming to find out that there's, all you women your beauty is just common. Comes at a dime and a dozen. There's all kind of beautiful women around the earth. But to find a righteous, virtuous man, Israelite man, that's scarce. That's going to be more held precious and more high regard in these last days. That's why it says a man shall be more precious than fine gold, man. Because when all hell breaks loose, there's only certain men that are going to maintain their virtue, man, and stand in the truth, and you have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. To withstand what's going on around them. While everyone else is bugging the fuck out. And women gonna see that, man. Women draw near to that type of energy, power and all that. So they're gonna see that, man, and they're gonna come flocking. You know, like those are celebrities and all that. They're gonna come flocking to brothers, man. So we don't even need to worry about these hackers, but you know, we just gotta stay away from certain ones, man.
Yeah, and nowadays, even because of the, you know, the T agenda, right? You kind of get to a point where, hey, deal with any bro now, gotta send up prayers heavy.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
That, you know,
ain't slept with a bow or something.
Ain't slept with a bow. That it's actually a woman, man.
Yeah,
because the way they do these things nowadays, hey man, it's difficult to tell, man. Pray the Lord protects.
See a passport,
see baby pictures, man.
Man. Gotta be careful.
You know, see you go to a house, you gonna check it, and you put period pads in the because they always keep period pads. Women always keep period pads in their yard, don't they? Regardless, you just double check. Oh shit, okay, cool, yeah.
Steroids in the cabinet and all that, man. Got any fucking hormone tablets? Be careful, man. This fishes is trifling. Dudes that turn into women are trifling, man. The guys like Mbappe, man, you know, they're doing it for an agenda. They're gonna get put to death anyway. Yeah. You had this nigga Central C, and he's come up with that gay song. You know that. You know, my girl is gay and all that. You know that song. It's come out recently. Every other time they keep replaying that shit for radio or play or whatever because they're trying to push an agenda. Yeah. He's talking about my girl is gay, but really he's pushing that faggotism type spirit. What's a girl got to do with being gay?
Yeah. He says my girl.
Yeah, my girl is gay and all that. Like that's the first thing he said. There's like a 2-minute song where it's all about homosexuality. Where he's referring to other people being gay, like it's a good thing. Yeah. Like my money is gay and all that. So he's pushing witchcraft, man. But that's like a top song, like that, even though it's a shit song.
Well, you know what? The worst thing is, money probably is gay. You probably had to bend over to get it.
No, but yeah, say my money is gay, my girl is gay, but you know, just like Mbappe, he's pushing an agenda. All of a sudden, you're pushing this song, man. You weren't coming out doing these type of songs when you first came out. Yeah. Now all of a sudden, that song just getting replayed. Yeah. Like replay value like crazy, bro. Like, it's not even a proper long ass song. It's like 2 minutes long. Yeah. He says that one verse and another verse, and that's it.
Oh, raw.
That's all it is. But it keeps pushing it, reiterating the word, J-Y, man. Everything's J-Y.
No,
so that's a fucking, that's a seance right there, man. Yeah. That's a device of seance. That's witchcraft.
I'll get Isaiah.
These kids are influenced by these little niggas, these rap niggas, man. That's who they look up to.
Idolize.
Yeah, they idolize these niggas. So, like, Richard K, right? So niggas gonna be doing that.
Yeah. They idolize, sir.
Yeah, fam.
Not saying they idolize these individuals, but what do the scriptures say?
Whip is gay, my shit is, you know, all this stupid shit. Yeah. My whip is gay. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
You already know Esau told him, look, you got to write this song.
Yeah.
If you want to make it to the next level, don't do it. You're going to cut your sales. You ain't going to make as much money as you used to. Yeah. You're going to start deducting money from your checks. Yeah. You ain't going to be the hot guy no more. So he's like, fuck, I want to get some more zeros. Let me do this gay shit. Yeah. Then now that's like a #1 song or whatever. Yeah. Right? Bullshit, man. Yeah. And if you saw the new VMAs, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw little clips. That shit was totally like androgynous, man. Demonic. Right. Nicki Minaj looking like a straight up demon. You know, they're pushing all these different androgynous demon performances and all that. You know, VMAs, MTV Awards, whatever you want to call it. That shit is totally demonic, man. What has that got to do with music, man? What has LGBTQ got to do with music? But that's what they push, man. This is an agenda.
I'll grab this real quick. You're saying something. It's Matthew 13:16. But blessed are your eyes for they see, and your ears for they hear.
Spiritual.
And yeah, because you were saying that, you know, I've not watched a music award show.
I ain't watched it for years, but you know,
yeah.
It just comes up on the YouTube feed. You see certain clips. You're like, what the fuck?
What's going on?
Some wild performances, man.
Yeah, raw talk.
All this LGBT shit and man kissing man on stage, and this is bad demonic shit, bro.
God. Yeah, man. You know, because you were saying that, and then I was just thinking about how you have certain things. No, that's someone else.
Oh, someone else.
Yeah.
Right, man.
You have someone else who's basically like, they'll have straight up seances on stage, like you said, will have certain, come up dressed as demons, like the thing that happened in Birmingham with the Commonwealth Games. Certain people coming up, straight up on stage. Now people watch it. Oh, God, that's such a good show. That's such a good show. What the hell? But that's because their eyes are closed. For us, Brock the Abba Shemi Ashar, whose eyes are open, we're able to be like, yo, that's this, that's that. like for instance, there was, you know, I remember years ago, it was Katy Perry. She was getting an award, and she had a black cube on her head as part of her dress. And people were like, oh, whatever. But it's then, yeah. And then just before that, I been you spirit had me going into like Saturn and black cubes and stuff like that. And I was like, oh shit, that's just straight up Saturn worship, right in your face. Yeah. But people would just think like, oh.
Even on that the Commonwealth Games, whatever. Even the bitch said, yeah, this is Babylon, Babylon. She even mentioned the word Tower of Babylon.
Yeah.
So that it shows that these people behind the closed doors, they have an agenda. They're pushing an agenda. Tower of Babel worship, which is straight up paganism, man. Straight up satanic worship, man. Worshipping Baal, Molech, all these different deities of old. And now they just reformed them, giving them new names, new idols, man. Worship, you know, new titles, so to speak. That's all it is. Throughout the ages, they've always done that shit. There's the same wicked ass spirit that they've enchanted from back then, man. Babylonian worship. That's all it is, man. So we see that with a spiritual eye. We're like, oh shit, that's in the scriptures, man. These devils, you know, making their children to pass through the fire and all that. You know, worshiping the image of Baal, bowing down to it.
Yeah.
That's straight up wickedness, man.
If people, there'll be some strange ass looking ass album cover, but people won't question it. Yeah. They'll just be like, oh, artistic freedom, artistic expression, like the one with what was that nigga, man? The one bare people died at his concert.
Travis Scott.
I remember looking at the album cover, be like, yo, that looks demonic as hell. You know, but I've got a few for you. It says Isaiah 19:14 says, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit.
Yeah, and what's part of their vomit? These wicked philosophies, man. The whoredoms of witchcraft that they're involved in. Because that's what Esau, as part of Esau's power, man, on the left-hand side. Because that's who he worships, Satan. So in order for them to worship Satan, they have to do these sick, ritualistic, sadistic acts to appease him, man. To so-called gain more power. To appease that, to get his green light from him, so to speak. To do more wickedness, man. That's why they do it, man. Not just doing it for no reason.
They're not doing it for the Lord.
Yeah, not just doing it because they just want to be, they're bored. You know, ain't got nothing better to do. They're doing it because they got an agenda. There's a secret agenda, man. Yeah. And they know about the left-hand power and the right-hand power. Yeah. And they're trying to delve into that, man. You know, Esau's all about gaining more power and immortality and all that. He's trying to do that on the carnal side of through the left-hand side. That's why he's talking about certain things now that's going to make you immortal and all that. You know, through technology. But on the right hand side, the Lord said we're gonna get that just by a twinkling. We're not doing anything. We're gonna get that in a twinkling of the night.
Yeah.
Lord gonna change us and just make us immortal, just like that. He's also trying to figure out new kinds of laboratory works and science, you know, Scientology and all that shit, trying to figure out how to make himself immortal. Or build super soldiers and shit like that. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, because if I can say, it's like everything Esau's trying to do carnally, the Lord's just gonna give us and just like that.
Yeah, because we deserve it.
Yeah.
Not because we deserve it, because we're those people.
Yeah.
We're the gods of the earth. It's in the name.
Yeah.
He being a prince of the power, we're sons of the king. So we're gonna get what what a prince deserves, man. We're gonna get that godly power, man. Esau's trying to get that on the left hand side. That's why they want to do certain things. That's why they're trying to open up certain portals.
Yeah.
CERN and all these different things.
With these neural links, trying to read your thoughts, with the MOTB, trying to know who you're with, where you are, what you're doing, what you're thinking. But the Lord is just gonna give us that ability.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, to be able to be like, because the Lord, Yahweh did it. Yeah. And Scripture says that the Lord said, what these things you see me do, you go and do.
Greater.
And greater.
He still said the day that wait upon me shall renew their
That's
strength, man.
That's it.
So that's what we're waiting for, patiently waiting for. So we don't have to do no science experiments and start fucking around, testing, cutting and slicing genes like these Edomites are doing, man.
Spending billions and billions upon billions of pounds, you know, into things that don't matter. The Lord,
experimental failures.
Yeah. And the thing is, there ain't gonna be no side effects of what the Lord's gonna allow us to do.
Yeah, right? Resources like short bursts, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a little drug or something that make you feel like you're God, but then that shit's gonna have all kinds of side effects.
That's it. That's it, man. We just gonna be able to see. For instance, I love the story of the man which God hadn't walked ever, right? And he left when he was killed, right? And I love that story.
Temple
Beautiful. I love that story because you know, these same guys, you know, talking about, oh, the history's all wrong, they'll come and say, oh, but that's not possible because his legs, he wouldn't know how to walk. You can't science it, but that's the beauty of that story, man, because, you know, the way, when you see someone who, let's say, has been in a wheelchair, even if they knew how to walk, if someone's been in a coma for, let's say, a long period of time, they've got to relearn how to walk, right? Yeah. Same with someone who's been in a wheelchair for a while. Like, you see them, they'll always have their legs strapped up and their legs be skinny. Yeah. Why? Because it's something called muscle atrophy, where, like the brother says, it goes hella skinny. You ain't got no muscle there, right? So basically what the Lord did is he basically put the muscle there, programmed that man to be able to walk. Because even a baby coming out of the womb, they stand up, they wobble, right? But it says he leapt, right? He leapt. He was, you know, the spirit jumped to the Lord. Just lay up, he did a Jordan in the air. You know, he leapt. He was joyous, man. So the Lord did a lot in that one miracle, which, you know, of course, you know, there's several others. We talk about Lazarus, for example. Yeah, said he stinketh. Yeah. You know, you can't explain that carnally, and this is the thing. The times we're coming into, carnal explanations that ain't going to be what we want. It's not gonna cut it. Yeah, you're gonna be able to explain yourself with these situations. Miracles, man, they're the unexplainable. That's why they're called miracles. You can't just explain how that happened. Yeah. It's like the chariots when they show themselves. That's unexplainable. That's why they're called unidentified. But each of them don't know how to, you know, quantify that. You know, like in his mind, you know, with his statistics and his way of science, you can't quantify how those chariots do those maneuvers, how they move in the dimension and all that stuff. You can't understand that shit. That's science above their fucking pay grade. That's it. If I can say real quick, Slovakia, because I was thinking about, you know, there was an assassination attempt on the Argentinian vice president. I think it was Argentina. Bitch, right. And then I was thinking about that. That's them spirits, right? Because she will have spirits on the left hand side protecting her, and in contrast, we have right hand spirits protecting us, right? Because he had the gun all cocked, right? Like bam, but it didn't go off. Right, he had it on her head. Bam, right? She didn't get taken. That was the Lord. That's happened to brothers. Yeah, had guns put in your face, cocked it, pulled the trigger, and it didn't go off. Yeah, so that was the Lord. That's the angel. That's it. Yeah, that's true. You know, there's a forces back that we can't see. That's why I said we wrestle not against flesh and blood. And if you try and take out the president and all that, do something like Bush, that's why he was able to dodge that shoe. You saw that he moved like he was a fucking martial artist, man. Yeah. That's because the demon that was with him made him move like that, move out of the way. Like, because he got demons protecting him, man. That's why he was able to swiftly move like that. If it was any other old person, they'll get hit. Yeah. They'll get fucked up, man. He was able to just, because them demons, them forces on the left-hand side are working with them people, man. You can't try and assassinate Biden and all that. With regular Jake trying, you're going to get taken out. The spirits will fuck you up. Which kind of proves that it was them that have taken out those other presidents, man. Yeah, it was them. Kennedy and all that. Was that done that shit. Yeah. No average person could just take out a top leader. That's the Lord has to ordain that. That's it. You know, if someone just comes up tried to shoot Biden, they're gonna end up getting laced. That's that curse of Cain. Yeah. They're gonna end up getting laced up with bullets, man. You're killing Biden, like as old as that nigga is. That guy's gonna dodge, man, and do some next demonic shit. Yeah. Same thing with the Rothschild. I forgot which Rothschild it was, but he was just he based someone rolled up on him with a camera, and he's just walking through his whip. Yeah, I remember that. Shit to him, saying, no, you're not gonna, your agenda's not gonna work. He's looking at him like, get away from me. Like, he's like demonic look. And he's just walking, no security, no nothing. Why? Because he knows them demons are working with him, man. They're protected, man. And just as on the left hand side they're protected, on the right hand side we're protected, man. Right? So we're not trying to do no over righteous shit, try and go and take out certain leaders. You know, even if it's the Queen or whatever, man. Like, they're working with certain forces, man. You can't just roll up on them and do what you want. The Lord even will step in and make your ass get jacked up. That's it, real talk. Because you're going against the Lord. The scripture says, wait ye upon me. Romans 13, that's it. You know, what's the word called? Sedition? Yeah, sedition, or there's another word for it. God. You can't try and take out the leaders yourself. Overthrow. Yeah. Do that shit, man. No, I can't do it. Because it ain't for us to do it. Lord. You know, because really then you're taken away from the Lord's story. The Lord needs certain characters in place.
The Lord's gonna take these people out.
Exactly.
The top leaders of the society, the Lord's the ones that come in and visit these devils, man.
Yeah.
He's gonna take these devils out. He's the one who gave them the power.
Yeah. This is Isaiah 47 and 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Yeah, that's why Esau Edom, like I said, Bush, man, he was able to do the Matrix. He did the Neo. Guy threw the shoe, just did the Neo, man. No one expected him to move like that. Like, what the fuck? He just dodged that shit like it was a bullet, man. Yeah. So you already know they're fucking with certain things, man. Yeah. Esoteric knowledge and all that. That's why that Masonic Freemasonry shit is highly crafted in witchcraft. Yeah. Like it's a high sorcery level. Like they call them, they're top wizards and warlocks, man. Wizards and warlocks are top demons, man. Like they deal with so much different forces, man. You know, that's why they got the new Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power and shit now. They're showing you, man, that, you know, even though it's fictional, but the level of demonic, like people deal with power on the left and on the right hand side. Like they deal with power energies, man. So it's not just for the bait, it's not just for the low. Like power is like a serious thing, especially when you're, you know, dealing with it, you know, up front, close and personal, man. Like when you're dealing, these guys are dealing like directly with Satan. Yeah. So who knows, man? Yeah. You know? That's it. That's it. Like we get blessings from the Lord on the right hand side. These guys are getting blessed up by Satan, man. That's why they constantly drinking blood, doing rituals and all that shit, man. To get that power, man. This ain't no joke, man. They doing shit. But the only thing is they think that they're gonna supersede the power of the Lord. They think because they got all this energy and all this power on the left hand side that somehow they're gonna be able to take over the you know, they're gonna be able to defeat the Lord, man. Like you're crazy. Because the scriptures tells you that Yahweh Shai has power over all principalities, man. He's the top one. He's the one you should fear really under the Heavenly Father. Not these damn demons, not Satan. It's the one who made Satan, man. You should be fearing. Yeah. Could even want although slightly different things to speak about, and they fear the creature more than the creator. Yeah. You know? Yeah. For instance, our people fear Esau more than the one who created him. Exactly. You know? The Lord created the devil. Yeah. So how terrible is the Lord, man? That means the Lord is all kinds of terrible. He created an Edomite, man, the damn devil of the earth. The Lord actually created this damn devil, man. How terrible is he? That's why he's called the King of Terrors, man. That's something you do not want to mess with, man. Yeah. So it says, verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Right? So, and that's going into, you know, all of these things. Esau's, you know, been living good for the longest time. Right, but the Lord is going to just come and start visiting these Edomites, man. Yeah. Right. The demons ain't going to be answering the calls anymore. That's it. It's going to be a thing. Hey, you know, it once again reminds me of a Bane, man. You remember when the guy rose up into him? Bane, why haven't you done this? I have men working, right? I paid you a small fortune, and the demon is going to be like, I'm just giving you power over me, because that's it. In fact, that person actually represents, because he was a bright Edomite. That character was a suit and tie devil, and he ran up to the person who he thought was working for him, but really he didn't realize he was working for Bane, man. Bane, yeah. And these devils don't realize that really they're working for. Yeah, they're working for Satan. They're not working for you. Yeah. The other way around, right? You know. So you ain't got the memo yet, but when it comes, you're gonna be trying to call on certain forces and all that, certain demonic energies and that, and they're not gonna answer the call. Literally, like in that scene, that whole scene is on that. I know, how did it end? That guy got put to death, man. Oh, that's it. Them demons can, you know, they can jack your ass up. Happened to them vagabond Jews, man. He was in the house trying to heal people in the name of Yahweh Shai. The Lord, like, demons, like, we don't know you niggas. You know, Yahweh Shai, know. Who I know. Demons start tearing up their asses, man. Them demons can fuck your ass up too. But it goes to show you that these demons, these spirits know who brothers are. Right, and they know, and they know certain people have that edge.
Satan, you Job had the hedge.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So yeah, that's it. So you may have someone who's ill-mannered against you, right? They'd be like, look, man, I'm gonna do this to them brothers. But then the demon that's on them is like, nah, you can't do shit.
Yeah.
Demon's like, nah.
They want you, but they can't.
Yeah, they can't.
They're just very angry. So
Yeah.
they're just showing them. That's why in these last days, brothers have been doing a lot of videos saying you got to beware because these demons are active right now. We're in the last days of the last days. So these demons are very proactive right now. They're going to try and make you get into carnal situations or to make you throw you off the path because they know there ain't a lot of time left, man. Yahweh Shai's coming. That's why when the demons that was on Legion and all that, was on that dude, it was like, Yahweh Shai come to take us before our time. They said, no, my name's Legion and all that. And they said, please don't destroy us. Let us go into them fucking pigs. And then they jumped on them pigs, and the pigs were so smart. It was like, fuck this, I ain't trying to get, possessed by no demons. And they killed themselves, man. Because it's better to kill yourself than to be possessed by unclean spirits, man. That's not a life you want to live, man. But there's people out here today, they're engulfed with unclean spirits, man. They're over embracing it. Like over, that's why the LGBT thing's so high. And just running rampant. You got Transformers coming out the woodworks now. Those unclean spirits are running rampant right now. Those demons are active, man. That's why I was down into that word pandemonium the other time. And the word pandemonium means all demons. Yeah. And that's what they're pushing right now. Pandemonium. We're in a time where all demons are activated, man. And these people are getting, possessed. You don't want to be around certain people, man. That's why you got to watch as well as pray. You got to make sure you do what you got to do. Stay spiritual, man. Because all in your walks of life, man, Satan's gonna try and tempt you, man. Like a roaring lion.
Yeah, see, they devour.
Like Lord told Peter, he decided to sift you like wheat. He's always gonna be trying it, man.
Yeah.
You gotta stay in your pool, man. Stay armored up at all times, man. No matter where you are in any walk of life.
That's it. Verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantment, and with the multitude of thy sorcery, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
Yeah, that's Esau's spirit, man. Witchcraft, man.
Yeah.
They love that shit, man. It's just part of their nature, man. They love the dark side, Darth Vader. They want everyone to come over to the dark side. That's what they're about. They love that dark energy, man. But that's not the all and end all and be all.
Yeah.
Because the right hand's more powerful than the left.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's gonna come to find that out. When the Lord returns in that chariot, man, you're gonna find out that the Lord's much more powerful than the so-called Satan and all these demons that everyone tries to erect in society, man, and revere. The Lord is much more terrible, man. He's the one you really should be fucking in fear of. Worshiping, man. That's why everyone's gonna worship Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Even the Lord himself. People are gonna worship the Lord.
Yeah.
Because he's that power, man.
So it says, stand out thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsel.
Yeah, shit's not gonna keep working. It's gonna start failing. It's gonna start failing soon, man. We're in the time of that now, man. Certain things it's not gonna work no more, man.
Yeah. Certain spells are been blocked.
Yeah. No, say the Sept of the wicked.
Yeah.
Sept of the wicked is gonna be broken, man. The witchcraft, and that's why people looking at America like, yeah, America's ready to be taken out because that witchcraft of America being a big brother of the earth is starting to wither out, man.
And these energy policies that are being set up. Because really, they're saying that they're sanctioning Russia. Really, they're sanctioning themselves, which only makes you think it's all on purpose. Of course, these elites work of order out of chaos, right? But the way that this Western world is going to start crumbling over the next couple of months, right? People are going to really start being like, what, this Western way ain't really the one, right? All of those bros, for example, that, said they didn't need a man, right? I saw a meme, right? It was hilarious, right? It was a meme of a group of women being like, "Ooh, he's got electricity," right? Because that's what it's going to be like in these days.
Yeah.
It's going to go back to what really matters, and all of those things that Esau told you mattered ain't going to matter no more. right?
Yeah.
You know, your
Glitz and the
belief,
glam on
your
the face,
glitz, your glam,
the TikTok and all that shit. Actually, no, about social media,
none of that matters.
water and fire and all that shit. That's what matters.
So scriptures talk about I know it's in Start, forgot
the
where
necessities
of life,
yeah,
man.
it's in the 39.
You know,
39.
fire, water, oil,
Yeah,
right?
honey. Those are the real. That's why they show you that just that post-apocalyptic movie, the road. That's what mattered, man. Food and resources, man. Clean water.
Yeah.
Just like in Bangladesh, now they know what water really means, because they ain't got no clean water no more. They're bathing, drinking, shitting, and pissing in the same water, man. Millions of people, man. You know how disgusting and disastrous that is.
Yeah.
You know, people are gonna be dropping dead overnight, man.
Yeah. Because they say that, and when it comes to like water-related flooding, right? If I'm not mistaken, they actually go into the fact that people die from the initial flood, but then it's also the the after effects of it, i.e., lack of access to clean water, right?
Nasty, man.
You know, all of that. But it's the thing, the scriptures tell you how to treat that.
Yeah.
Right. In what was it in Sirach 38 speaks about when it's speaking about the physician. Right, it basically goes into was not the water made sweet with bark.
You got
charcoal,
clean water,
and I forget there's a name of a seed and
a silver.
Can't. There's a name of a seed. The brother even did a live demonstration of it. I forgot what it was. We basically crushed it down, put it in the water, stir the water, and you basically saw
separate.
Yeah. Separate it.
You can't clean it, but it's a long process. All that flooded water, man. That shit ain't water you can just clean overnight.
That's it. Yeah.
That's some nasty, muddy ass.
Don't drink that.
You don't want to drink that type of water. Those Bangladesh are fucked, man.
Yeah.
And the law's not dealing with all that. So why them Dubaiites and all them motherfucking Shiites and Sheiks go over there with that Dubai money and go and rescue them Elamites? That's their people that's suffering over there. But they ain't gonna do shit, man. They're crying for the females and all that to come in UN and all these people to try and help them. All them sheiks and all that shit, all them rich princes and shit, enjoying their money over in the Emirates. Why don't they go over there and fucking help them, man? The Lord ain't coming to help you.
That's it. I would say here it is, them sheiks who pay a bitch 50 grand for to shut in her mouth, but won't spend 50 grand to go help one of his Muslim brothers.
Exactly. Don't pull upon your deities to come and help you. They ain't coming to help you. And the God in the Bible definitely not coming to help you. He's the one bringing that hell upon you. Because the Lord's not dealing with all nations. That should show you, man. The Lord's not dealing with Moab, so-called Chinese, not dealing with Ammon, the Japanese, not dealing with Elam, the Indians, the Persians. He's not dealing with Ishmael, the so-called Arabs. He's definitely not dealing with Esau, Edom, the so-called white people. Japheth and the rest of the other nations, man, Samoans and that. The Hamites he's not dealing with. The only nation he's concerned and dealing with is you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. The children of Israel. That's all the Lord's concerned with. But even within that, the Lord's only concerned with the elect. 2/3 of these people, he looks at you like you're the heathen nations too.
Yeah. Isaiah 29 and 6. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire."
Yeah, there's even a sort of precept where it told you about the hailstones. It's over there in Spain. They had hailstones as big as tennis balls, man. Fucking up people's cars, windows, busting the shit. Guy crying with his woman in the car. Hey, all that shit, breaking up windows and all that. Then he smashed his head,
Yeah, that drops on your head.
The thing looked like big ass tennis balls, man. Coming from the heavens, man. That shit dropping your head. You're done, man. So the Lord's pouring out plagues.
Yeah.
Why? Because the Lord's not happy with this place. The Lord's fed up with this society. He's fed up with the leaders of this society, man. Being the Edomites. Isaiah 24 tells you, man. They've defiled the earth.
Yeah.
They've broken all the laws, man, of the earth, of the covenants of the earth, man, of the law, statutes, and judgments of the Lord.
Everything's sick.
Everything's upside down. Everything's defiled and needs to be revamped, man. Needs to be cleansed. That's why the Lord's got that cleansing agent called fire. He's gonna cleanse the earth, man. Yeah. He did it before with water. Now the Lord's gonna cleanse the earth with fire. But just like this empirical evidence shit, you can't really prove that the flood happened, except you go to certain mountain retreats and you deal with the the water scale in the mountains. Yeah. I can't remember what that word is called again.
Because you get certain types of rocks.
Yeah, sedimentary
rocks. That's it.
It shows you the water levels is that high. When it reached the peak of the mountains, You know, so it shows you that the earth was covered in, at one time, the whole earth was covered in water. But we can't empirically prove it, like saying, we got the data. At this time, at this time, this much rain fell, and this is how much, it destroyed the earth. We can't prove that. You got remnants of the pieces of the Noah's Ark that landed in Mount Ararat over there in Turkey. That's like sort of like an evidence, but it's all based upon the Spirit. It doesn't mean that we don't believe that the first death never happened. We believe that the Lord covered the earth with water, and then He split the whole of the lands and all that. And that's how the lands are, like a jigsaw puzzle today. But the Lord split the water. But but we gonna see the second death though. We gonna witness the fire and all that coming.
But I come back to you because these people that want empirical evidence, the Lord will empirically prove to you He exists when He destroys you.
That's it.
You
can't doubt it.
Same shall learn after death by pain. With Scripture says also, those that shall not, that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me, man. That's what the Lord's on.
Yeah, all the doubting and all that. You won't understand it in the day of the Lord when the clouds covered and with soot, nuclear soot and all that, and the chariots are covering the sky, and all you see is nuclear fire blowing up the place, man. That radiation coming through. Then you're gonna realize that the Lord is real. But by then it's too late.
Back in Isaiah 47 and 13 says, Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsel. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
Yeah, so he saw those with a lot of high levels of witchcraft, man, and think tanks and shit. You got lots of that shit down. These whole industries are based off of all these different think tanks, man. Yeah, witches and warlocks casting spells upon the people. Especially with that pharmaceutical industry, man. Yeah, the whole pharmaceutical industry is basically about witchcraft. Making people take these damn potions, man. That's why that stabbing jab was a straight up potion to kill people. That's right. That stabbing jab was a straight up potion to put people to death. Yeah. To make them suffer some mad side effects and all. And a lot of stupid ass people fell for the hospital, took that damn potion, and now they're not on the earth no more. Yeah. And if they are, they're suffering from some kind of terminal illness, man, that they can't fix. Yeah. Like the brother said, people's hearts exploding and all of that shit. You can't fix that. You're done.
Yeah, that means we
man. The spiritual world.
Yeah.
That's what you get for trusting in the devil. That's it. Those potions, man, the whole pharmaceutical industry, that's why they're having problems with the hospitals now. Talking about hospital beds and all these things, the ambulance services not working properly.
Well, now they're
waiting for too long.
I was saying, now they're saying that the energy bills for some of these hospitals is too high.
You're going to have to start cutting shit off. The hospitals are open 24/7, 365 days a year, man. Even during that holiday periods, they're open.
Lights on all the time, backup generators being charged up all the time, using bare electricity.
They use the most electricity, man, all year round. It's constantly on. They can't turn shit off. So it's only that. You can imagine they're going to start turning shit off.
Yeah.
They're going to have to actually start shutting down hospitals. Yeah. They can't be open 24/7 no more.
Yeah.
So you still might start doing it.
Continuing on, it says, behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame.
So all the seances and all that is all for vanity. They're still gonna get hit with the fire, man. All your idols that you worship, all these standing engraven images, they're all gonna get burnt up by the nuclear fire. That's what the Lord's saying. So it's all vanity, really. You're doing it for no reason. It's futile. Doing it to no end. So that's Esau's spirit, because he's the devil, man. He can't help himself.
Yep. It says, from the power of the flame, there shall be no cold to warm, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander everyone to his quarter, none shall save thee.
No one's going to come to your aid, man. That's why Biden can. That's why Biden said, look, we can't fuck with Ukraine and Russia right now, but if we do, that's World War III. That's the war of Armageddon, man. And Biden understands that, man. That's the war to end all wars. Once that takes place, there's no going back. There's like, no, we can't do this right now. Can't be stepping in for Ukraine and all that. Yeah, we can send them funds and whatever, you know, but we can't step in like to say we're going to protect them against Russia, because that's going to be an act of declaring war. And then Russia going, you know, be more than willing, ready to send them nukes over there, man. They're going to send Satan 1 and 2 at the same fucking time, man.
But Psalms 127 and 1. Except the Lord Yahweh build the house, they labor in vain that built it. Except the Lord Yahweh keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrow, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. Because Esau, the scripture says this man is wiser than Daniel. So this man basically pretty much has got wickedness down to a science where he's trying to use the chip as a means to monitor not just people's financial situation, but pretty much everything from medical history, life science, and all the rest of it. And he's done his diligent research, and he knows that the other nations such as the Moabites and the Elamites, etc., and his counterparts up in Russia are trying to get the opium open. And this man ultimately is doing all that he can to upset prophecy. And these Edomites, they do hella research. Just recently, they're talking about Boris Johnson agreed like a 700 million agreement for nuclear power in the UK, which of course part of that's going to go to weaponry and that as well. But then these devils, regardless of how much money they spend, how many scientists they hire, all of those top scholars that they have, it's all going to be in vain, because in 1 hour, Babylon's going to be destroyed.
1 hour, man. It's true. Everything that these devils are doing, the New World Order, it's all futile. At the end of the day, no, but they need to do it because it's fulfilling the prophecy. But they're thinking that they're going to come out on top. But that's where it's futile. That's where it's vanity, because the Lord's still going to come in and destroy your asses, man. With what? Within 1 hour, like the brother's going to read. It's only going to take an hour for the Lord to destroy 500 years of an empire, man. It's like ancient Roman Empire. They had their height, then they had their fall. Then it fell, never came back into power, except for the Renaissance period, Rome 2.0 is what you have now. But this place is going to fall, man, and it's not going to rise again. This is the last end all be all of a heathen nation ever ruling on the earth. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. So everything that Esau is doing is really futile, it's vanity. Like I said, there's 1 hour, man. Go ahead.
Revelation 18 and 17. For in 1 hour, so great riches is come to naught.
So in 1 hour, so great riches, all this stolen wealth, all the fuckery that you did to us as a people, man, all the enslavement, the free labor, all that shit's gonna come to naught in 1 hour. So you basically you did all this building for no reason, man. This is vanity, man. Just like the Tower of Babel, they was trying to build the biggest tower to reach the heavens, spent all type of energy, time, and resources to build it. And the angel saw it, like, what the fuck are these people doing? Tear that shit down. Destroy their languages so they can't understand what you're doing. And then the Lord just came through and separated them. Because the Lord's not with all that New World Order shit. You're trying to do that same thing now. Again, so history always repeats itself. Nothing new under the sun.
Them people that tried to build the Tower of Babel, they got left as a symbol of folly. Like literally, all we remember for them is the word Babel, man. You know, like they even got the wonders of the world, but the Tower of Babel ain't still standing. No one's going to. There's not a tourist attraction. Otherwise, these people will have part of it in a museum somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I'll continue on.
Yeah.
If I may just land back your point, it says, "For in 1 hour, so great riches has come to naught," because there was like an old video about like the Federal Reserve and like going back to 2019, 2009 to 2013, just after the financial crash, and they were saying like they had about 368 billion bars worth of gold in the vault, and one of them alone was about 680,000, literally just one bar alone. And then the Lord's gonna literally rain such fire on that place, all of that's gonna melt, man, to the point where, like it says in the book of Revelations also, our kingdom's gonna have pearly gates and jasper stones and emeralds and stones that, you know, Robert David. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, "What city is like unto this great city?"
Yeah, because America was the height of society at one point. Everyone was flowing onto this place. That's why everyone dealt with the whore. That's why America was known as the Harlem. Everyone had a piece of that Harlem, man. Everyone made business with this place. Asia and Babylon. You know, I told you the second was 16.
Yeah.
You know, Asia and all that. Bed with Babylon and all these things. But everyone's been in cahoots one way or another, did dealings. But that shit's not going to work forever, man. That's why they're going to be crying, because they're going to see that, you know, their favorite whore to go up in flames, man, which is America. So they're going to realize that, oh, we can't make no more riches no more. We're not going to be on that world international stage no more. We're not going to be, you know, financially free and all this other shit. Now we're going to have a new dictator, which is, you know, our Lord Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai going to come and reinforce a new law, which really is the old law. Yeah. Real law of the land, scriptures, man. And you other nations are not going to be, you know, the next up. Moabites are not going to be next up. No matter how many stores you open, you know, or what this devil told you in the media, or what they're forecasting in the news, you know, thinking that China's going to take over you ain't taking over shit. You're going to be enslaved in the kingdom of the Lord, man. That's what you're going to be. You're going to be the Lord's washpot, man. That's what you got to look forward to, man. The other nations are not next, man. You're not going to be the superpowers in the kingdom of heaven. The only superpower is going to be is the nation of Israel. Eternally as well, man.
Isaiah 13 and 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdom, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellence, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
Fire and brimstone, man. Chaldees' excellency, with that witchcraft, all the enchantments, all the beguiling, all that shit is not gonna work. It's still gonna end up like rubble and stubble, like Sodom and Gomorrah did, man. You know, all your enchantments and shit is not gonna work anymore.
Revelation 18 and 19. And they cast dust upon their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness.
So these other nations are going to be humbled. They're going to be put in a state of mourning. They're going to be humbled after they see America set on fire, man. Everyone around the world's going to see it, man. It's going to be televised. But Babylon the Great on fire. All these nations are going to realize, oh, fuck. How we going to make our money? How we going to make our living, man? America.
That had ships. Sorry, alas, alas, that great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. 1 hour. Hey, because they got the world reserve currency. They took it over from Great Britain after the British Empire fell. Ultimately, America's like there's article out there, like it's a good article around the fact that all fiat currencies failed. There's never been one that succeeded from ancient Rome all the way until now, and it's not going to be any different. America is just literally the biggest bubble waiting to pop, man.
God, the Lord saving the best destruction for last, man.
Yeah.
So all these other countries are suffering right now, but the Lord's gonna make all that culminate and come to America, man. And America's not gonna recover. That's why it says Babylon shall not be healed. America, once sedition and all that breaks out in America, like in Bangladesh and all these different places, America's not going to recover, man. It's going to keep getting worse and worse. To the day of nuclear fire, man. That's what's going to keep happening. That's why Israel's going to have to reinforce a new world order, so to speak. Come with that biometric device to try and, you know, bounce back. But it's not going to bounce back as good as he thinks it is, man. It's still going to lead into that destruction.
Yeah, I was going to that's the point I say as well. Because everyone's making noise right now because of the fact that on paper, India is now supposed to be richer than Great Britain, because as of basically India is like, yeah, man, yeah, man, because the UK historically has been supposed to be the 5th richest nation on the planet, after what the US, China, Germany, and Japan, but then India took over, leapfrogged them, and they're saying India could in 2027, by the split end of the list, God Lord willing, but they say by 2027 India could be richer than Germany. But like, it's not at the end of the day.
No. Yeah. Well, no, I was gonna say, because I was thinking the reason of a brother, and when you look at the car that the Prime Minister and the Queen drive, it's actually technically owned by an Indian company, and that is Tata owned Jaguar Land Rover, right? So when you see the Prime Minister of Great Britain riding in that Jag, that's an Indian owned company, man, and that's once again that's you know, they're probably Edomites, you know, Edomite, Elam that are over there that they've set up in that country, right? But the point is, you basically, that's like the flipping of the guard, because India used to be under British subjection, man.
Yeah, British colony.
That's it.
Like, India's supposed to be rich anyway because they're rich in resources. Like Nigeria, all these different places, they're highly rich in resources. They're supposed to be wealthy anyway. It's like through different economies and all that shit. Esau's been able to restrict them.
Because he's
the devil, man. You don't want them to be super rich like the first world countries.
Well, because this is the thing. It's like he wants to keep the darker nations, and especially the nations where you get Jake poor, because that's good for the lie that he's told the nations. Once again, when you think about the fact that most of the world's riches, most of the world's resources, like here, you know, come from places like the Congo. Yeah, Congo's broke. But Congo's broke. But that's why Esau sets his economic hitmen. He sets his black ops teams, trade deals, black ops teams to go into those countries to control those countries' resources. One thing that I was watching a documentary, and it went into the fact that the price of chocolate is set in London, right? Price of cocoa is set in London. You might be like, well, what does that mean? That basically means that they can fuck over them people over there. Here it is the whole, give them pennies. Here it is the whole world loves to eat some chocolate, but the farmer gets nothing. That's it.
Travel to all these different dotted countries to get all the cocoa beans, all that shit, and they give them pennies upon the dollar to purchase their shit in bags and sacks. Then they ship it over here and give you inflated prices, man, to buy this shit, man. Golden blend and all that. All the old school adverts, they show you they're going over to West Africa or somewhere and they're getting the cocoa and they're putting it in sacks. And some Edomite explorer, you know, looking like fucking, what's his name, man? David Attenborough. Stephen Hawkins. No, Steve Irwin.
One of the
explorers going over to the land. They're going to ship up next man's resources to bring it over to the new world and make their fucking money over. The golden blend and all that. Let's show you them adverts how the devils took over, man. Stealing other people's resources. That's the devil for you, man.
This is Deuteronomy 25 and 13. Thou shalt not have in thy bag diverse weights, a great and a small. Thou shalt not have in thine house diverse measures, a great and a small. Essentially, basically, unjust balances. You're not supposed to be able to, like, basically try and cheat a man out of his pay. Like, and that's what happens in society, where they know that your money's going to depreciate, but then they raise the cost of living and then make sure that your standards don't survive. So you're stuck in the rat race.
You know what I was going to say? I saw something, I forget the exact numbers, but it was basically like when Gen Z was it? Gen Z is the current one, but the baby boomers, right? Their average hourly rate would say like $9 or something, and that price of a house would say $30,000. But then now the average wage is like $9 to $10, and the price of a house is like $200,000, right? Wow. You know, and it's going to show just how much this man is corrupt in his dealings, man. How he takes from people, and he's an oppressor. Right? In fact, let me grab this real quick.
King oppressors.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. Esau knows what he's doing when he goes to conquer the earth. You know what they're doing, man. They've checked out history. They know how things run. They know this too. They know how economies are supposed to run. They know they're not supposed to use it, but they use it because they can make money off people. Man.
Hey, you know, we've got to play Monopoly, man.
Monopoly is all about the bank.
It's all about the bank.
They own everything. You get all the houses, all the properties. You own. Your ass end up going to jail.
And then literally, it's like having a bag full of holes, man.
Oh, even a jail thing. You go to jail, you can buy yourself out.
Exactly.
You got enough money. Because that whole game is about the elites. So they can commit crimes, like, you know, the housing fraud and all that shit. The whole bubble, and like, the housing thing, straight up bubble. Now they're saying they got new reformed houses, mortgages that Jake can get. No deposit, no credit. That's a bubble. That bubble's already popped. That bubble's not even inflated. That shit, they're just making figures in inflated bubble.
It's already got holes in it.
And they already know Jake's going to flock to that fullback. No, you don't have to pay shit. Free housing. Jake going to jump into that like with all their luggage and all of that, thinking they're sweet. And he's still going to come with these fucking inflated prices. You know, hiking cost of living, you know, all these gas and utilities. And the Jake's gonna be like, oh shit, I can't afford this shit.
Yep.
Back on my ass again.
Yep.
They ain't gonna pick all these niggas out of that,
Yep.
their apartments
Yeah,
again.
yeah. That's it. Hey, but I've got let me read this. This is Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear fall, the people mourn.
Yeah, so that's like I was saying when that Monopoly game, like, I mean, you want to say something. But it's like a Monopoly game, these wicked elite, they'll commit crimes and fraud, they'll go to jail and then they can buy themselves out.
Yeah.
And that shows you that this whole system is just a fraud system, man. And it's built for them. It's not built for the average person. This corrupt system, the corrupt, like Bain said, is for them.
Yeah. Well, I've got to say that example of that fucking Donald Trump did, that devil. So basically, obviously, you got to be rich to buy your own land. Like in New Jersey, yeah, because he buried his ex-wife on his property in his golf course, yeah. And then it's freaky, but then check this as well. They've got, I don't know why they got this there, but they got a law in New Jersey where if your property is classed as a cemetery where you bury at least one person on your land, you're exempt from tax. Your business then then becomes tax exempt. Like, you know what I mean, bro? You can't, like, bro. They can't tax you. What's them people that come and take money if your business owes money? Debt collectors can't touch it. They can't touch any of your assets. So basically, they become tax-free assets off the fact that it's classified as a cemetery. Oh, it's deep, bro. But only the rich know that.
Only they know that. They know the ins and outs. The government will tell you, but yourself, you have to go and look at yourself and realize you got leeways for certain things in society. But these devils ain't gonna come and tell you. You have to go and find out for yourself. But these devils, they know all the leeways because they created those fucking lanes in the first place, man. They're called what was it called? Gateways or something else. But it's like leeways anyway. Yeah, loopholes. They created these loopholes for themselves, man.
London's a major financial loophole.
Yeah, that's why they don't pay no fucking tax, man.
Yeah. Trusts.
All these devils, they put all their money in trust and funds so they can avoid paying tax.
That's another one.
Yeah.
Well, that's even another one. So like when these devils get life insurance policies, rather than putting it in a will, they put it in a name of a trust. Because when you put your
can't touch it.
Yeah, when you put your belongings in a will, your family still have to go to court and then sort the procedures, so they still have to pay court fees. But if you go through a trust, the trust basically, even when you're alive, it's technically not your asset because but that's what I'm saying. It's fucked. But they don't
It doesn't allow you to get around inheritance tax, you know.
To a degree, yeah.
But I don't even think there was paying her.
Yeah, actually, because it's a trust, so it's not a
person,
it's not a person.
That's wicked.
That's for the poor, man.
Yeah.
As soon as your fucking parents die, whatever, then inheritance tax murder, man. Can't you try to take part of everything, man? Devil, man. All your parents' life earnings, they just come through swipe everything, man.
Yeah.
Inheritance tax. What the fuck is that got to do with you?
Okay. So much shit, bro. Fucking a load your title and a load your own in the land. That's why, like, you could buy a house right here, and if fucking Chelsea wanted to come and build a stadium, the council will give you your money, whatever, even if it's less than what you want to do.
Like this white man's a devil, because they deal with generation wealth. That's inheritance. That comes, we can't have inheritance there. You just can't take man's whole life earnings. So what was the point of giving us a damn pension in the first place then? You're just gonna come through and take it all. You know? After a man's parents die and all that. You're just gonna come tax up the whole thing. Take man's properties and all that. Cars. I remember they did that, man, to my aunt and all that, man. Came through trying to take the whip, the house, all of that shit, man. Taxing up everything, man. 40% or whatever it was. Now what the fuck, man? No, that shows you these devils ain't gonna remorse, man. They don't give a shit about you, Jake, man.
I got 1 in 6. You have so much and bring in lich.
And I also feel lucky that you're owned, man.
Yeah.
You're owned by these elites. You're paid for in life and in death. Because when you're living, you actually, all these devils are like debts, man. So there's actually a national debt on every person in a social society, whatever, that they owe towards the bankers, man. So when you live, you owe them money. When you die, they take half of your shit as well. Die in debt as well, man. And the debt's left for your other people to take over as well. Your family members and all that.
Yeah, because that shows you, man, the devil. I mean, I don't know, does he, maybe, I've not looked it up, but does he limit the debts that you got to pay? Does he halve it?
Just the same way he will halve the money you're gonna gain, is he gonna halve the debts that you're gonna pay?
But in the scriptures it said that they leave their substance to their babes.
To their babes, yeah.
They don't deal with no fucking tax.
Yeah, because they have the loopholes.
The loopholes are for them.
Yeah.
You ain't hearing about no Rothschilds and banking families paying any damn tax, man. Anyone drops dead, man.
Yeah, they'd look at an RS agent and just be like, kill him.
Yeah, they probably get more money and all that, man. Devils, man. But this system is not built for us, man. It was built by us, but not for us.
Yeah.
You know?
Alright, so continuing Haggai 1 and 6. You have so much and bring in little. You eat, but you have not enough. You drink, but ye are not filled with drink. You clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes.
The Luke 3 and 4 that told you that we're slaves. We're subject to payments, man. We're slaves unto this day. Yeah, go ahead.
So I got this Luke 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers which departed from the Lord our God.
That's a clear example of who's the ones that's a curse right now. Because Esau, the scripture said that they're not in trouble like other men. So who's the ones facing all these damn payments and punishments and afflictions and reproach in society, man? That's under the curses. The children of Israel, man. That's who those curses are surrounding. And that is even more proof that the children of Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you're in all the bad places of society, all around the four winds of the earth. You're in the favelas, you're in the ghettos, you're in all these barrios, you're in all the down places, the downtrodden places of society, man. Subject to payments, man, subject to tax, inflation, all these different things, man. You're subject to all that shit. That's more proof that we're the children of Israel. We're under a reproach, a curse. You know, these bankers, these small hats, the 1948ers, they ain't under that curse. These devils that have been fighting over that land since 1948, they ain't suffering under these curses, man. They're not worrying about no damn tax. They're not worrying about no cost of living. Ones that are worrying about cost of living is the people on the bottom, man. They call minorities. You know, that's us. So, you know, that's more proof that we're the children of the Lord, man. Those curses are following us, man. Like a bad habit, man, like a bad smell. So you talk to a fucking elite or whatever about tax, they probably don't even know what you're talking about, man. What the hell is that? Where they do that at, man? It sounds like hell, man.
Psalm 82, defend the poor and the fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy. That's why we got welfare laws. That's why we actually got laws in our scriptures. Like, for example, when you're cultivating your land, you're supposed to keep portions of your land free for the poor to
well.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
This is an unfair piece. Yeah, it's a tyrant, man. He's an unfair piece of shit. He acts like he's so fucking fair, man. Really, you're a demon, man.
Which it says, let's say it should be transformed into an angel of light.
Yeah.
So you
said, so right, that he would do unjust.
Yeah.
You know, he's an unjust piece of shit, man.
Yeah.
He puts all these laws on the books, man, to fuck the poor up, man.
Yeah.
Even though we're poor on the bottom, he's getting all the riches. He still finds more and more ways to make us suffer, man. That proves he's the damn devil, man.
Yeah, with words too.
Yeah, policy, all this shit, man. Unrighteous decrees, man. That's why they're telling you, from the October, bills are gonna be £3,000 and what the fuck you mean, man? Whose fault that inflation's happened in the first place, man? Why are you blaming us, man? Why is the onus on us? We don't control the price of the food and all that shit, man. We don't control the shipments. You're the ones fucking up the shipments. You're the ones causing wars and stress around the world. It's not us. We're the bottom feeders, man. We don't control shit. We don't bring the drugs and the guns into society. You devils do that shit. Well, we get the blame for it. You know? When we have to pay up as well. Right, it's like an ancient Rome that had the ancient tax. Blame Jake for the fires and fire in Rome that they never even did. But they ended up paying that tax, man. Against their will. Unrighteous decrees, man. Rob the fatherless and the poor.
Deliver the poor and the needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked.
So we need deliverance, man. We can't deliver ourselves, man. We can't build our own a society, Black Wall Street and all that. We can try and do that, but it's not going to work. Obviously, throughout history has shown you. The only time you try to do it, we've done it more than a few times. Esau will find a reason to destroy it, man.
Yeah. There ain't no time for us yet.
Yeah. There's one that was done, and that Jake was flourishing, and then the Edomites found out about it, and then they just said, "No, fuck this.
Yeah.
We're just gonna because we heard there was rumors that the blacks was gonna take them over.
Yeah.
So it was like, no, fuck this. We're gonna go and tear this shit up, and they destroyed it.
Yeah. Hey, that's one thing, man. As a Jake, when Esau sees a Jake doing good, ooh, Esau hates it. Man. Esau hates it. Because he's like, how is this nigga?
We're better than them.
That's it.
That's because it's their time to rule. And they know that we're enemies, man. We can't. They know that if we get into power, it's over for them. So they're not gonna they're gonna do anything in their power.
Yep.
That's why it's called systematic oppression, man.
Yep.
Whatever you want to call it, systematic racism. We're always gonna be kept on the bottom. They don't want us to build our own empire, man. They don't want us to be able to fend for ourselves. Because they know that if we fend for ourselves, they can't do shit about it. We're going to end up overthrowing them.
Yeah. I was just going to back the point as well. Like here in the UK, they're talking about the bills going up to £3,000 and that. But then Britain allegedly on paper only imports 4% from Russia. So why is it that countries like Germany and France are nowhere near what the UK is, man? But then they're talking man. Because in the UK as well, because it's in France, EDF and them kind of companies, they're nationalized. So the government basically owns them companies. So when the politicians get in, they make them bullshit promises to people, they gotta basically deliver on that so that they get voted in. Because even though it's all bullshit, the politicians make money from getting voted into office and running for president and that. But then in the UK, because it's privately owned companies like British Gas and all of them, Thames Water and all them companies, man, those politicians all got shares in those companies. It's a club, and they all get paid.
And also it's by design. Because it's the thing, Esau knows. Well, once again, we quoted it earlier on, and the precept says the things that are needful for life. I think Esau doesn't know this. There's a whole thing in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Which we're coming into that time.
That Martin, right?
It might be Maslow, M-A-S-L-O-W.
Yeah, Maslow.
Yeah, Maslow.
Yeah. I remember the university that tried.
Yeah.
Maslow's that Martin.
Yep. And when we're coming into this time, we're actually going to get into that time when it's like actually the base things is what people actually need. So that's why he's attacking your energy. In other parts of the world, they're having their a food attack, and when you attack energy, that attacks food because it's a global market as well. So you may have countries that are food producing countries, right? They've got their own food, but the fact that they export some of that means that the price of that food goes up as well, locally, right? So because Esau's created this global system, right? Issues here affect issues there, right?
System means a trap.
System means
That's
a
what
trap.
it is. You get caught up in the trap.
It was designed this way.
Yeah, designed trap. And everyone that gets partakes in it, you can end up being dealing with the debt of that situation, man. That's why the bottom of society, citizens are the ones that deal with the repercussions of any fuck up, man, in the economy, man. Because it's a trap, it's a snare, man. The rich don't have to deal with all these, prices of inflation. They're the ones that administer it. The ones that have to pay for it, the ones citizens. You have to pay for that shit. You ain't the cause of the actual problem or the issue.
The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing.
And people will kill for that, man. Yep. Even tells you that in that precept. People will do, go ape shit. If you carry on reading it, tells you people will go do evil for that as well, too. We're coming to the time of that because people are going to start losing their mind, like them Bangladeshis and all that, and Chinese and all that, for the fact that they can't get clean water and food and all that, man. People are going to go to food rioting, to robbing and killing each other, looting, shooting each other, and then even committing cannibalism, man, because of the lack of the necessities of life, which are more precious than social media, man. And that's what people hold in high regard. The social media, they can't drop their phone, man. That's all people care about is their fucking phone. Once that phone stopped working, There's no more no chipping, no more fucking not chip, but no more SIM card, no more T-Mobile, whatever they want to call it, man. No more network. And all you got to rely on is necessity. You're gonna realize what's more important, man.
Well, they were saying in Florida, yeah, that because they think that there's going to be power cuts, well, they know there's going to be power cuts. They were telling people not to plug in electric vehicles because they would break down the grid. Yeah. That sounds like some shit you would hear in Ghana back in 2008. You know what I mean? Like, but that's America, the most powerful nation on the face of the planet Earth. Man.
They're going some power cuts right now.
Yeah.
There's like a million households, etc.
After telling people you need to get electric cars, they tell you whoops. But it goes to show you what? It goes to show you that there is no way out. This is a major trap, man. Because it's like people who you remember when we had the petrol issues earlier on in the year. People were basically at the petrol stations. What were people making? The electric car owners were laughing.
Yeah,
they were like, "Oh, I could just go home and plug." But guess what? Now you're on the same vein. Yeah. They're now saying it will cost you $100 to charge a Tesla from empty to full, man. $100. That's more than filling up a car with with petrol, man. So what's that's it. But that's basically the Esau showing you that look, you are in my trap. Though for those that can see it, because there's no way out.
It's just the only way out is Yahweh Shai. That's it. And for you not to partake in it, man. That's why the Lord said, love not the world, neither the things that are in it, and come out of my people, man. Like you're gonna realize, look, man. I just need a car of people to take me to. I don't need no fucking electric car. I don't need this, that, and the other, man. I just need necessities of life to take care of me. Yeah. And the Lord, basically, man. Because the Lord's the one that's going to take care of the elect. The Lord said, my servant shall eat. We wholly believe in that, man. Because when shit is getting chaotic out here, the only ones that's going to be sober-minded is the Lord's chosen, man, the elect. They're going to eat, man. And look, one way or another, whether it's through ravens or whatever, man, the Lord going to provide for his men. He's going to make a way, man. Might have you find a bunker or whatever, like they're moving the road. A house full of food, like brothers, whatever.
Yeah. Like with Elijah and the woman and her son, with the flour and the oil that just kept,
kept coming. Fish.
Yeah.
Kept coming, man. Bread and fish, man. You can do that to multiply. So we ain't gonna worry on that level. We're gonna be taken care of. We wholly believe in that, man. For you people out here, that's because you don't have the Lord, man. That's our real defense, the Lord. We need our refuge, man.
The Lord said in the book of Isaiah, woe unto them that go down for help, man. The trust of Egypt will be your shame, man.
Yep.
Because you got people out here that are trying to hedge against inflation, and obviously, you do what you can to a certain degree, but they're going like you got people out here that are just like overdoing it.
And they think they're going to step up for,
they think they're going to beat the system.
Yeah, like invest for a better future. No, man, you're trying to invest. You're going to lose that shit, man. You also riches catch wings and fly away.
See, ultimately, all of that stuff is, Psalms 49:11. They think that their houses shall continue forever. The reason I say that is those people hedging for, the crash or whatever, or have you, ultimately think that there's going to be something else after, but there ain't nothing else after. Second Ezra 6, except death, we'll talk. Right? Second Ezra 6 and 9, for each was the end of the world, Jacob's beginning of it that followed, man.
So they tell you not to entrust in uncertain riches, man. You can't put your trust in the society and all these different investments and that. Even though they're forecasting certain things to happen. You can't put your trust in that, man, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. The Lord said, don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, man. Worry about today.
I was even going to say, the book of scribes and Pharisees, they got your whole shit killed because they didn't want the Romans to take their seat. They wanted to maintain that middle class kind of just underneath the Romans lifestyle. But then they didn't have control over the Roman currency, and the Edomites kept the value in it. And then eventually, all of that was in vain.
They fell too.
All of that was in vain. All of that selling out.
It meant nothing in 69 AD.
When Rome was getting, Jerusalem was getting besieged by the Romans. Yeah, those wicked scribes and Pharisees, they couldn't do shit. Even my man wrote a book on it, man. Josephus, man. Mm-hmm. He wrote history books on what was going on. They couldn't survive all that, man. To hell that was going on, vote, all that. They was catching hell, man. Jake was getting jacked up by Esau. Those those are the average Jakes and so-called the ones that were living good.
Yeah.
They were all getting jacked up.
Because those are the ones that they feel like they've achieved something, even to this day. Like, you know, personally, I know all the Jakes that I know that have taken the juice are the ones that are living in that middle class lifestyle, man.
So, yeah.
Because they're trying to maintain that they want to maintain that, you know, that job, that, you know, that ability. You're settled on their leave, that ability to go here, there, and everywhere, right? Whereas Jake, that really, you know, we're more working class. Yeah, obviously, you know, that some of them took it. Well, I just found that quite interesting when I made that observation. I was like, right, that's interesting.
Middle class is definitely on taking that juice. They want to live that, maintain that lifestyle at the same. But just like in 70 AD, it don't matter, man. When Esau comes down, like that flood, like I told you in Isaiah, he gonna get the average Jake. He gonna get the Jake that's living good. Yeah. The middle class Jakes, the ones that's living better than the middle class Jakes. He gonna get all of you, man. He don't care about your wealth. He cares that you're an Israelite, man. The fact that you're an Israelite that's why he's coming against you. Yeah. And you're all. It says in Revelation 13, rich, poor, free on bond. You're all gonna have to take the CHIP. So you don't give a shit about your wealth, man.
Yeah. Can I grab this though? Because you mentioned the flood. Because there are those of our people that are going to be taken by the flood, but then they're, you know, Lord, we will be of this number instead, right? It says Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him, right? Yeah. So we hope that to be of that number instead. Right, of when Esau starts coming down, where the Lord basically sends, you know, spiritual power, sends ways to protect us, man. That hedge of protection, man. Right, because we know that it's going to come, but we just have to have faith in it, right? And if we be of the elect, you know, hey, we just going to be there like, yo, shit, hey, the Lord did that. Like, damn.
Says it in Job 5, famine and death.
Man. That's it.
Those are the same men that's going to be well taken after, man. They're gonna be eating, drinking, and all that. Those same men that are gonna be protected in that time of Jacob, martial law, Jacob's trouble, man. But other Jakes are just catching it, man. Yeah. Especially the nigger woman and all that. They're gonna be catching it, man.
All of them people, all the wicked of our people, man. They got a nasty end, but that's what it says in the scriptures. Have you got something?
You had a million motherfucking niggas at the Pride Parade and all that shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, 2 million niggas at the Pride Parade carnival the other day. And you saw the videos and that shit. Niggas was dancing on top of the bus stops dropping and shit, collapsing.
Woman gave birth at carnival.
That shit was disgusting. The Edomite bitch was on the floor giving birth. That shit's demonic, man. What the hell are you doing at a damn carnival when you're pregnant, man?
Yeah, heavily pregnant.
That shit is some demonic fertility, goddess worship type shit.
Yeah.
You know? And then bitches was dancing on top of a bus stop. And the shit collapsed because too many niggas got on top of it.
Yep.
You know?
Twerking, because that's the thing.
2 million niggas. So those 2 million niggas are going to get put to death.
Yeah.
All of them, man.
Yep. That's it. That's like I thought, man. Yeah. Let's see. Oh.
Alright, got some information.
Yeah, that's it.
I've got basically just a quick bit of information on taxation in ancient Rome. There were four primary kinds of taxation, which were cattle tax, land, customs, and a tax on the profits of any profession. And basically, as the taxation got worse, obviously the aristocrats, the higher up, got ways around paying their taxes, and then the majority of it fell on the farmers in Rome, man, which caused a lot of them to rebel and stop producing, which also led to a lot of the famines in Rome, because a lot of the farmers pretty much just said, fuck it, man, it's not worth continuing on to cultivate the land and produce food, because at the end of the day they were getting overtaxed for it, spending about a third of their wages on it. So that also then led to the famines, man, that occurred in Rome, you know.
You had what you call it, successio plebis, which is basically the you know, the strikes of the plebs, right? And not even in its the people, and not even in that kind of forced the governments to literally change, you know, a number of times, right? But that's, you know, that's back then. Nowadays, nowadays Esau's got too much control over.
So that's gonna send them troops and
That's
take
it.
care of the situation.
That's it.
They don't care how much blood you got to shed. They don't give a shit nowadays.
Yeah.
They want those less people anyway.
That's it. Hey, he's one Jake, which got the job. Been speaking with him or whatever, because he's drunk the American Kool-Aid, isn't it? About
Sugar.
bare sugar, GMO, right? Speaking about the whole Russia-Ukraine thing, right? And the way he views it as the West can do no wrong, the Western government can do no wrong, but a guy like that, he's just gonna have to see. He's gonna have to see the horns, right?
He's gonna get a surprise.
He's gonna get a surprise. And also, that was the point. I was trying to tell him, like, look, you actually think these people care about some Ukraine? You actually think NATO cares about some damn Ukraine? And much more, you think some these elites care about some Brit living in the frog, right? Living in certain different parts of the country called London, the big smoke, living in the big smoke. You think they actually care about these plebs, man? If they did, they wouldn't be pushing certain doctrines that are destructive unto you, man. If they did, they wouldn't be pushing feminism, homosexuality, transgenderism, man. They wouldn't be doing it because they know that those things are contrary to the script. That's why the elites, you won't see the women that are married to the elites, bucking up against them, right? You wouldn't see any of the. I mean, we know they get down, they get freaky like that anyway. But
yeah, tired of it. Like because even bro, all them sex parties and all that shit, man.
Yeah,
that's when even the other day, when I was away, they showed Eyes Wide Shut, man, in the middle of the night. It's spiritual because I was watching that, and spiritual night.
Yeah, shit happens.
Yeah, it's like you can see that these elites, man, that how they think. How they really feel, like how they want to rule society and all that. They just think they're the shit, man. They think that they want to be the gods of the earth. They don't care how demonic they have to be to do it, or who they have to get to sell out. They're gonna do it, man.
The point of selling out. When they brought out when Vespasian brought in the fiscus, one of the ways that actual Israelites were able to get out of it is that they had to denounce their nationality.
Stop calling yourself a Jew. The Greeks.
Yeah, exactly. So which is why, like, again, just to kind of round it up, is like you can understand why the actual Jews in Jerusalem were pissed when, like, basically Paul and them were saying, yo, but like, these man sold out their nationality historically to be exempt. They didn't catch hold with you, but they could still be saved ultimately. But it is like you can understand Israelites, according to the seed. You can see why at the end of the day, the Israelites in Jerusalem were in flames, man, because of the fact that they basically caught hell generations, and then ultimately all Israel could still be saved.
Now he's still going to do it again. Yeah. This time he's going to say, you want to eat? You want to have to deal with his tax, take the chip.
Yeah.
Now he's going to do it all over again. Yeah. That's going to be the new form of avoiding tax.
Yeah.
Take the chip.
Yeah. But you got all of these, again, the plebs and the patricians set up again. Like, for example, all of the postmen in the country are protesting right now because they want higher pay. They want like a 7% increase in their pay. But then if everyone's protesting, whether it's the train drivers, the ports workers, all of those people,
so you put a picture up with a post. That shit ain't going nowhere, man.
Ain't going nowhere, man.
Staying there dormant.
Yeah, man.
Catching dust,
bro. Catching dust. And if everyone gets the promotion, that just leads to more inflation, because you need two things for inflation: more money printed and velocity. And if you've got more money being generated and everyone's getting more money, it just adds more to the problem. If people don't get that money, then they're just not going to be able to afford to live. So regardless, it's irreversible. You need a whole new system.
The new system is off the chip. That's the new system right there. Fourth industrial revolution.
Trying to tell.
It's all an experiment. America is a big experiment, man. The elites will tell you that. America is not a country, it's a business. That's how these elites look at America. Business, and they make mergers and they move on to the next. That's what America is to these elites. That's why they're experimenting now, ready to crash this economy, world economy, using America, and then revamp it by, like reinventing themselves with a digital system. Just like any company, when you go into bankruptcy, you have to basically declare bankruptcy, liquidate your assets and all that, and then and then revamp, come back again with a new name and new title. And that's what America is doing, getting in that process. They're getting ready to bankrupt the whole society. It already is bankrupt. It's done basically, and they're going to liquidate their assets, and then they're going to revamp with a new system, man, the digital system, digital currency. That's why you got a president, man. President is the CEO of a company. Biden is the president of America. America's a corporation, man.
Zephaniah 1.
That we wanted. Yeah. America's not about a corporation, man. It's ready to go bust.
Zephaniah 1 and 11. How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off.
Yeah, man. And so all of this wealth, right? All of this wealth that was once in this country is being is being removed, right? Because the way this system has been designed, right? Once again, we're talking about world trade and whatever, what have you. I'll give you an example. The whole thing with Ukraine being what I think it's like just only 5% of the world's argon, but argon is used to make microchips, right? But then when you remove that supply out of the whole network, guess what? Globally, the prices have to go up.
Yeah.
Because it's just they're like, well, yeah, it's like I've got that money. I know, I've got that argon. I know you want that argon. So you're gonna now have to pay more money for it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, sorry, this thing because when you, basic business, every business has overheads, like operational costs. Like keeping the place hospitable for people to come in, it's an operational cost. You got to maintain your building, bruv. So anything from supermarkets to office buildings, everyone's gonna put up prices because they got to pay more costs to keep the place habitable so their staff come. So if you go to your supermarket, just off the fact alone, they're paying high energy bills. Your food's going up again. That anything, it could be literally everything. Like your hospital, like you said, to care. Hey, the NHS, hey, they're not gonna get no pay rise, man, because all of that money there. They'll get claps though.
Yeah. They're talking about how they're just getting deducted right now, man. They ain't getting no pay rise. That's it. They're done at it.
That's it.
In one of the top richest nations on the planet right now, you've got people that are working full time, still having to go to food banks, working 35, 40 hours a week, still having to go to a food bank.
I was talking to a woman about that today, man, because the cafe that she owns is like a food kind of bank kind of place where people come to get resources that are not well off in society, like a community cafe kind of thing. She's been hired to do certain things. She said from September, October, regarding like food banks, like helping get food banks or shit like that. So that because they know that prices are going to be skyrocketing and people ain't going to be able to afford for shit. They literally ain't going to be able to afford to eat.
Yep.
Feed their whole families and all that. So it's going to get that chaotic.
Yep. There was an article you know what people are going to do?
People are going to have to choose, man.
And it's the things where people are so short-sighted because people are like, you have that German minister say, I don't care what my voters think. We're gonna, be with the people of, Ukraine, basically until the end. But basically, what these people don't understand is, okay, right now, people over there are dying in Ukraine, but those high energy bills are gonna mean deaths over here. All the elderly, they always speak about that. The elderly dying in the winter because they couldn't afford their fuel bill, and that was when times were good. So-called pre-pandemic, you have the elderly dying, man. So what about now? But that's because the Lord is bringing about that spirit of death into this world, man.
It's the Lord. It's the Lord bringing all these things are brought for vengeance, man.
Yeah.
The Lord's bringing down this economy financially, weather-wise, all that shit. Because the Lord is totally destroying this society, man. From within. Bit by bit, the Lord's just taking this whole system down, man.
Yep. So there'll be nothing.
Yeah.
But it's all part of the agenda. You shall own nothing and be happy. We've constantly spoken about these bad mortgage deals where people would have, and actually I believe in America the terminology is actually flipped. But I'll say it like this: you have a 95% mortgage loan, right? So you get 95% from the bank, where they'll give you that in cash. You only put down a 5% deposit, right? That's one of the things they have in the UK, right? But all of those people, the reason why they needed that low rate was because they couldn't afford it. So now that their energy bills are going up, this is going up, that is going up, all of those people are going to do what? They're going to default on their mortgage, meaning they're going to be bankrupt, meaning that they ain't ever going to be able to buy a house ever again, right? Basically meaning that they're done. Once again, going back to that thing of you shall own nothing and be happy. I was speaking with, with a brother about that. It's like, yo, this man slipped, but we read it earlier on, right? More subtle than any beast of the field.
Very far.
And I got this. We were talking about all of the jobs that are going to be lost. There's Ecclesiastes 12:3, and in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few.
Yeah, there's gonna be no more work for each.
Yep.
A lot of the employees be women. Like these women, they want to work now.
Yeah.
They want equal pay and equal this, equal that.
Well, in certain instances, they now out earn men.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Different industries. Certain women are getting, what's that term? I can't remember. So the American term regarding equal pay. It's like slavery. Anyway, they're getting certain. It's just on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, they're getting their so-called equal rights. So the majority of the workforce, huh? No, something like that.
Equal opportunities.
Yeah, equal opportunities, you could say. Affirmative action. Yeah. So now these women are getting so-called equal pay and equal rights and all that. They're the ones working in all these different industries now, man. Getting these. So a lot of the workforce are these women. So a lot of these women are going to start. That's why I said many years and days and years. So you women, women should be troubled, careless daughters in a time of trouble as well.
Over the pandemic, they were the ones losing the jobs the most.
Yeah, that's why that article I read about 150 million people that were suffering. It said more 66.6% of it was women that were suffering. And said the women and children, the females, like women and little girls, are the ones that suffer more.
Because if I can say, in terms of economics, you've got, I forget exactly what each the names of each, but like the Western world is like the tertiary economy, i.e. you start dealing with services and things like that. You sell information and data management. So you look at London, for instance, you've got finance roles, and technology, this, that, and the other. Now, when economies are collapsing, those roles kind of are redundant, right? You start needing your real men, right? Your men that will be your builders, right? That will help and can use their physical strength in certain instances, right? So when economies hit, shit hits the fan in an economy, right? All of these cushy jobs that these broads have, they ain't gonna be there no more, right? They ain't gonna be needed. Whereas your real strength, manual jobs, they'll be around. You'll always need someone to fix a burst pipe.
Anything with building, all that.
Yeah.
It's always going to be laboring.
Yeah.
Hence labor.
So it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows darken.
Yeah, so the future is not bright, man, for the economy on the world stage. You can see it, man. All these different prices, gas prices, Russia and all that stuff. The future's not, the financial forecast is not bright.
Not bright because there ain't going to be no gas or electricity. Can't turn on the lights.
It's done. It's done, man. And it's just a storm, a further storm waiting to implode.
Yeah.
It's a shit storm of events is waiting to unfold on it. Man.
Worst thing is, this is just the pang.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the shit.
Yeah, it's just the pang. Because scriptures liken the end of this world to a woman giving birth, right?
If this place ain't under the rubble by mid next year, man, financially and all that, this place is done. Like, if this place ain't fucking totally in the recession, or I don't know what it's gonna take, because everything's already fucked already as it is.
Yeah.
So by this time next year, but by early January and all that, if this place ain't fucking totally in a recession and all that, It's just gonna be like crazy, man. It's like what? What's it gonna take, man? Shit's already done.
And you were saying as well, one thing that's going to lead to this food crisis is the fact that a lot of the smaller stores that supply food, like your corner shop, cafes, all of them, they're not going to be able to survive because they don't have reserves to pay them kind of energy costs. Like your low, they're talking about, I forget the exact number, so I won't misquote it, but they're saying like a significant amount of corner shops are going to close this winter.
Yeah.
No.
If I can say, for a young person, that's not so much of a problem, right? They can get on the bus, they can go to the larger Tesco's or whatever, what have you. But the elderly, once again, they're the ones that are going to be fucked because when you look at a city like London, if it's one corner shop, there may be another one around the corner, right? But when you're out in the sticks in different parts of the country where it ain't so built up, you have one corner shop.
So you rely on
Go farming. That's it. You're dependent on it, and then, like I said, it's not like it's not like during the pandemic where the petrol was, because they were like, oh yeah, go help your neighbor. When you ain't got the petrol, now you can't. Now the young man can't go to the store.
Yeah, and the deep thing with it as well is like when I went Chancery Lane and they got the new style Tesco set up where you can't get in without the scannable app, which is eventually going to be the shit. But then when all of these stores, the smaller convenience stores, close down and you have no other option but go to big box stores, and then they're all down with the beef system.
Yeah, you can't get in. You can't get in.
It'll be like China.
Yeah, no, to get in unless you got them apps. Yeah, app in your skin. Yeah, well, that's why he's doing this. He's making all these prices go up, so all these businesses can't stabilize and can't do it. They have to close down. Then all these shops are going to be closed. Everyone's going to flock to these big box companies, and the only way you're going to get entrances is if you got the CHIP. Yeah, if you ain't got the CHIP, you can't buy and sell. Can't get no food. Then you're going to be straight up outside of the grid. That's where the fighting is going to infighting. A lot of fighting and rioting is going to be.
People going because they show you that whenever someone ain't got food and they catch someone else with food, what happens?
The cup.
Lights up a lot.
That's it. Because a lot of these Israelites don't understand, like, this man is going to make the chip as normal as having a national insurance number. Yeah. It's going to be one of those kind of things where, like, literally you can't work without it. Like, you can't
travel. Shit, you probably won't be able to watch TV or whatever. Access the internet.
Well, with the energy company things, I shared an article where I think it might have been Florida, if we're speaking about Florida. One of them country states, basically, they shut people's smart thermostats off. Because they were like, actually, no, we've got energy crisis right now. We're not gonna let you use it, right? Yep. They basically cut, and that's it. All of these different things, these digital devices, they're just devices of control. Your electric cars, rather basically any new car ultimately, they all have kill switches in them, right? So remotely they can be turned off, man. Right? If you ain't playing ball, you got turned off, right?
That's all that control. That's what this devil's doing. That's why it's slowly, incrementally, just bringing it in. It's going to do it all in one day. Slowly but surely bringing in a new system where everyone's so dependent on these switches that they're going to be willing to comply to whatever this devil tells them to do to get access to these fucking, industries. You're going to be like, if you want access, you got to obey my orders, man. You got to take the CHIP.
Do as I say or else. But this is the thing. Right, because there are two people that have said "do as I say or else." One is the Most High, one is Esau. Who you gonna listen to, man?
Lord told you not to take the CHIP,
man,
which is the MOT to the beat. If you take of it, you're gonna die, man. So you got to choose what's more important, Lord or your life, man. People won't choose their life basically over the Lord.
Save their lives.
Exactly. People won't choose their life over the Lord, man. The Lord's the one that gave you life. So you want to close up. Man, it's coming down to the wire, man. Esau slowly, incrementally bringing in this new way of buying and selling. You can see it. Everything's digital now. Getting rid of all these cash machines. The other day, I was running around nearly the whole part of London trying to find a cash machine, man. That worked, man. One I used to go to one store, used to be in there. Now the cash machine's gone.
Yeah, I've read 100%. Cash has 5 years.
Yeah, went to another machine, the shit's not working. You go down the road again, you know, oh, the cash machine's not working. You know, it's like, what the fuck, man?
That's gonna get more and more as because once again, cash is moved manually. It's moved in trucks.
I was just gonna say, the cash is deep, bro. It requires a lot of hands. You gotta get the guy that prints it, the guy that then delivers it to the actual the security. No, bro, you got then have the
G4S.
Before you even get the G4S, you get like the security van that delivers it to G4S. G4S then get a driver to deliver it to the location. Then someone has to actually manually load and set the ATM. But you so yeah, and with the chip they can just remove all of that and just straight from the bank to you. Instantaneous, just
it's direct.
There's Luke 17:33. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it.
So that's what the whole hour temptation is all about, man. People want to decide whether they want to, you know, save their own lives or, you know, depend upon the Lord, man. Save them. You can't save yourself, man. So there's no point taking the CHIP, because all you're going to do is add more hell to yourself, man.
The prophesied the kingdom is going to come. Like, if I could say as well, when Judas sold out the Lord for those 30 pieces of silver and he killed himself, after he tried to give those pieces of silver back, 2022 London, if he was around, if you had those same 20 pieces of silver, what would it be worth to you? You wouldn't be able to really do much for that, man. And I say that all of that to say, like if a man sells out and takes Esau's chip, at the end of the day, the Lord's kingdom is still going to be established, man. Revelation 14 is still going to occur, man. And like when in the kingdom, you know, when Israel's finally perfected and beautified, what worth would it have been? Like for that short moment of time where you could go to a corner store and tap your head.
That's why a lot of Jake's heads are going to be down in the kingdom. A lot of Jake's are going to sell out. They feel bad. The kingdom when they come back to the realization what they did, sold out the Lord, man. They will feel down for a while. But this is really all about the elect. The elect tells you, man, they're going to get victory over the image and his mark, man. They're not going to bow down. 7,000 men will not bow down. They need to bow. So, we're trying to be part of that number, not the other, not the latter, man. So, any last sayings?
Hey, this place is going down, man. It's like I said, protests everywhere. It's going to be an interesting winter. Laws will, you know, comes out with a lot of death, a lot of blood. This place is done, man. And yeah, you know, hey, let's all stay prayed up. You know, Day of Atonement coming in tomorrow, Sunday evening, still on the assembly. You know, to reflect, pray for forgiveness, pray that the Lord protects us in this time to come, man.
This is the last Day of Atonement, ceremony. Before we get into the man, you know, it happened for a reason. It's a spirit. While you know the Day of Atonement, you know, comes so quickly. Well, this year it was only like last month, just January. Now it's September. It's coming to the end of this year already. So everything's spiritual, man. The Lord's speeding things up. Things are about to take a turn for the worse. So that's it. Like the brother said, we've got to gird up our minds spiritually, man. Gird up our loins. Stay on point, man. Stay spiritual, man. You know, because things are, you know, are really going to get active out here. You've got to stay on point, man. Keep praying to the Lord for protection. You know? Anyway, we're going to close out, man. Give praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, double honor to the apostles and elders and great millstone, Shalom, and host of elect.